we've done it, and we came out on the backside, and we are still here. And a lot of our competitors are not. Back when I first started with Jack, and gosh, it was like 2009. Some of the people that I was, shoulder to shoulder doing deals with that I knew about in the land investing community, 9 and 10, they were gone. And we stayed, and I have things that I can do to help you too. So my first quick announcement is, as you can see, stay to the end, and I have a free gift and a special offer for anyone thinking about Land Academy. If you're on the fence, you will know a lot more after this, and I've got something that's going to probably push you over the edge. So, and of course, I'll have some time to answer all kinds of questions because I love that. So my goal today, like I said, is really, I want to take the mystery out of this. How are you guys making people still scratch their heads? And I get it. It's hard to understand and embrace the whole, wait a minute, you're buying it and then you're marking it up and you're selling it and you're making more money. Yes. What did you do to the property? Nothing. They're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, well, this is how it works. And I'm going to go into that. And I'm going to give you some examples. I'm going to show you some properties. I have some numbers for you. I have all kinds of screenshots. I'm going to show you some maps. You can just kind of see what I'm talking about. See these deals. Some of you, like even today, got an invite and have been on our weekly member calls. So you've been in our closed community watching all of the Land Academy community, talking with my partner, Jack, and I, looking at deals together. So some of you know some of this stuff, but a lot of you don't. So I've got some screenshots here, and I have lots of things I'm going to show you about that. And then I'm going to explain a little bit about what you can expect out of Land Academy if you're thinking of doing it, what you can expect of us, what kind of support you have, what kind of tools you have, so you can do this if you want to. So here's our agenda. I'm going to talk a little bit about Land Academy defined, who is my partner, Steve Jack Butala, who am I, and why we are the land experts. Like, come on. And I'll tell you about that. We're going to get into, like I said, how to buy and sell land you don't need to have your money for deals anymore. When we first started Land Academy, it was not the case, and I couldn't really fund other deals. So now you really don't have to think about it. And so I'll talk about that. And then I'm going to tell you about, it's really important. It really is recession proofing your land business. I want you to be here 10 years from now or 30 years from now, whatever it is, like us. So, and then I have some exciting news for all. I have a big thing coming up for our end of the year blowout. This is it, Land Academy. And then for 10 of you, the first 10 of you, I have a little something extra special coming. And then, of course, at the end, I'll do lots of Q&A for you. It's awesome. Oh, yes, there will be recording. All right, I'll cut to that real quick here. I got Ben and I got Anonymous. So for everybody listening, yes, there will be a recording. So if it's really late wherever you are, and because we have people, I know people all around the world in Land Academy, I'm probably watching right now. There will be a recording that you can watch. The replay, I think, will be available tomorrow. So do not worry. So good. And thank you for showing. And you are very welcome. Thank you for showing up here now. I appreciate that. Okay. All right. I want to put some pictures in here so you can kind of get an idea of who we are and what it's like to be a land investor. So Jack and I took off. We took all of September and all of October and split. We got in our RV. Here we are in our little RV, and it's not that big. It's 24 feet. So think about this. You with your partner that you work with, live with, everything with, in 24 feet. So this came later on in the trip. We realized our bikes were just not enough. Our bikes are on the back. So we had to add this lovely little Jeep, which we picked up in Michigan, and hauled it back home with us. But this is the life of a land investor. You can take off and do this. I'm buying and selling property all over the country. And that's why people can all over the world buy and sell land here in the US. We've got Ireland, Asia, dream it up. Especially Canada, a lot of Canadians that are in Land Academy. You don't have to be a citizen to buy and sell land in the United States, and you certainly don't have to be sitting where you are. And I'm going to show you so much of what I do. Everything what I do is sight unseen. I'm not there. If I need something, I'm going to get a photographer out there. I'm not going to go out there. I can get pictures. I can get drone shots. I don't need to be there. So here's Jack. You can kind of see he's way back in there and working by the lake. And then here's our little Starlink. That's what saved us. Before we headed out on our trip, we got RV subscription to Starlink, and it was phenomenal. So we only came back after 2 months because we weren't planning. We were only planning being gone 1 month, but it ended up being 2 months, and we came back to kind of regroup and get ready to do it again. So watch us next summer. It's probably going to be like 4 months that we're away, and we had such a ball. Like, this was Lake Michigan back here. This was some sweet saloon I think in Colorado. But so why are we the experts? By the way, Jack really did start his first land company in 1999. And I came along in 2009, and we launched Land Academy in 2015. So my partner, Steve and Jack Bitala, he's been doing land deals, which he figured out himself, for over 25 years. It's if you get our ebook, if you don't have our ebook, you got to get our ebook. And if you're in this webinar, you probably may have it in your inbox waiting for you. So if not, definitely reach out to my team and we'll make sure that you get it. But it really tells a story about buying his first property off eBay, realizing that the person did a terrible job of how they made it look. He wrote a check for like $8 grand, turned around and sold it for like 20 grand. I think it was 16 or 20. It's in the ebook. and that launched this whole thing. Like, wow, I just bought this property, right? And now I got better pictures, and I wrote a beautiful description, and I did nothing to it. I haven't even seen it. And I turned around and I doubled my money. There's something to this. Yep, there is. So and that launched, of course, how we source deals. There's lots of other things that went into how we got to where we are today. Direct mail wasn't the original way, but it is now. And he realized, back then, that sending out offers to sellers, back when he was in commercial real estate in the 90s, that's kind of what really triggered this, was a way to not have to work that hard. That's the thing. We had a Clubhouse chat today, and there was a guy on there. He deals with different kind of properties, but he shows up in our room now and then. And I thought it was really cool. He was talking about the way he's doing it, and trolling the MLS and scraping and things like that. I'm like, God, that's a lot of work. I'm not going to work that hard. I'm certainly not going to speed dial people. I'm not going to, try to talk someone into selling anything. I'm going to buy the masses, reach out. And it started with Jack, commercial real estate, figuring out he could fax brokers, talk about crazy back then, and overnight, because it was cheaper, fax some offers to buy properties, and just wait to see what comes back. So I'm kind of just giving you a little more backstory, but that's the gist of it. So I joined, so now going on 13 years, and I brought to the table, I know you probably don't think I'm this old, just kidding, but I brought 30 years of sales experience. I had a little bit of real estate experience, nothing like Jack, but I brought solid sales experience, and then combined, that's who we are. And that's why us together, we are a powerhouse. And that's why I can safely say no one can buy land or knows his business as well as the two of us combined. And together we have completed now 16,000 transactions. And we are here because we love it. We are land people, and we love sharing this with other people. And what's happening now is I'm creating amazing partners to do deals with. That's the whole point. for me and for us. So let's get into it. All right, Jill, you're talking about it. I want you to take the mystery out of it. You know what? I'm going to do it right now. And I'm going to make this a little bit smaller because I'm going to screen share some real examples. I'm going to go through some stuff right now with you. So yeah, there are a lot of moving parts like anything, but when you really break it down, there's kind of 10 steps to this whole thing. If you can wrap your head around this, you can get it. So, number one, please. First thing you got to do is sit down, spend some time, and think about what is going to be your acquisition criteria. What numbers make sense to you? Before you even think about where you're going to send mail and any of that, what kind of deals do you want to do? What are you comfortable with? Not even how much money you have, just kind of like, where do you want to start? Where do you feel comfortable? So I thought, here's an example. So you have to define your acquisition criteria. And as I show you this example, you might change your acquisition criteria as you're sitting on the couch doing this on this Sunday afternoon, by the way. When you see like, I know I was looking for this. I thought I was going to buy anything from 2 to 10 acres, like my example here in a minute. But I see that, wow, all the 10 to 20 acres are really moving in this area. That's where I want to go for. So let's see here. So what you're going to do, and once you decide your acquisition criteria, or as you're doing this at the same time, I want you to troll and look out in the planet and in the country and just see what's out there. So let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to go into Zoom and I'm going to do 2 to 10 acres, things that sell for $75,000 and above. So watch this. And I'm not even going to get that picky. I'm just going to go Texas. All right. So I'm in Texas. Let's go. I don't need everything. Lots of land, right? So it usually has all of this. I don't want everything. I'm going to deselect, pick just land. Great. And I said, what? 2 to 10 acres. All right, let's go here. 2 to 10 acres. This is kind of what I'm thinking I want to do. All right, I'm good with this. All right, now, and I said price. I'm backing into this on purpose. And this is how I want you to do it. I want you to think about what things sell for, because then you know what to go buy and how to buy it. I want things that are going to sell between, let's say, $75,000 and $125,000. That makes sense to me. Apply. Look at that. Now I'm going to start zeroing in. First I'm going to start with for sale, but when I find an area, I'm going to toggle between for sale and sold comps, and it's going to help me to uncover places that this might work as where property is moving. Remember, I'm only looking at land right now too, and a good place to send offers and buy properties. So I'm going to start zeroing in like, wow, look at this. Like, first of all, let's look over here. This is obviously not going to work for me. And I know that a lot of these are just, they're cheaper. It's not our market. So look at Metroplex here, Dallas. Well, that's obviously 2 to 10 acres in Dallas for $75,000 to $125,000. Obviously not coming up there, probably a lot more expensive. Noted, got it. I don't need to be right in the middle of it anyway. That's really not what I want. I kind of want to be on the outskirts. These are where the deals happen. So let's just look like, wow, let's go a little bit west of Fort Worth. So I kind of like this. So even just this, I kind of like this screenshot here. Let me get a little west. So in this exact screenshot right now, check it out. I've got for sale properties. I'm looking at what, 202, do the math. 202, because I've got 6 agents or 6 other agent listings. And they're not all agent listings. Some are like we do. You can get it on the MLS, not being an agent, but just give you an idea. This is for sale. All right, that looks good. Now let's see what's sold. 35. Oh, I don't like it now. I would not mail this, but this is just giving you an idea. Okay, like, nope, move on. Why do I not like that? Because nothing's moving right now. But let me double check too. I might have a filter turned on here. which I do. Nope, any. Okay. I'll go down here and I'll play with sold, and I'll show you here that in a minute. So, all right. The only thing I have to turn on is the size. All right. Yeah. Not so thrilled with that area now. Well, let me just leave the sold on. Let me try this another way. Let's see what happens if I go, this is real world stuff. This is how you sit down and start to pick an area and start really seeing what is going on. All right, let's go over here. 55 sold. For sale. Still not that great. I want my sold number to be higher than my for sale number. So fine, I'm going to keep on going. Let's look a little bit more. I'm going to go scroll down here a little bit more. All right. This has got me interested here. Whatever this Canyon Link is. Look at this place. I got in this view, I've got 108. Don't forget too, I'm only doing 2 to 10 acres. I really zeroed in on what I'm thinking, and I might change it. This is kind of what you do. I might, as you're playing with this, well, like maybe I want to spend more money. Maybe I want to do a different size, maybe whatever it is. But for right now, I'm just this exercise just to kind of warm you up and think about this. There's 108 sold. What's active? What? Nothing. Whole ding, ding, ding. This is where I'm going to start zoning into send mail. Okay. So let's stop the bus. 108 sold and nothing listed for sale. So that tells me if I found one property right now and I know how to buy it and list it for sale in here, what do you think would happen? I'm going to sell it really fast because there's nothing. There's nothing. Now, if I want to really get real careful, and that's, let's go back and just confirm how long ago they sold, right? Let's make sure, but here's a 2022. So in the last 6 months, one, all right, let's go back 12 months, 7. So it's not that great, but it's given me some ideas. So let me leave the 12 months on. Let me scroll a little bit more. So you see what I'm doing? And this is not how I'm going to pick a county. This is how I'm going to identify an area that I'm going to do more research on. So that's kind of what I want you to think about. So let's go back to the slide. And this is the funniest thing. This is literally my life. This is what Jack does every, I don't know, Sunday morning. We're relaxing, drinking coffee, and I'm having a muffin. He's on his phone. This is exactly what he's doing. He does it all the time. And then you just find these little areas, and then he'll make a note, either a mental note or he'll put it in his phone. When he finds an area, like, all right, I'm going to go back and search this area. And that's what you do. So you found an area, maybe it was maybe something Austin related, and you're going to go, and next thing you're going to do, this is what we do in Land Academy, is we run a red, yellow, green zip code test. So I picked such and such county outside of Dallas, outside of Austin, whatever it is. I'm going to take all those zip codes, because I want to make a good choice here. I'm not throwing darts on anything. We're using data to really make sure too that we make smart decisions and send out great offers. So I'm going to run what we call it our red, yellow, green zip code test to, within that county, identify the little areas. And there's a lot that goes into it, but it's in Land Academy, where we download zip codes, we do days on market, and by the thousands, and we can then pit the zip codes against each other to make sure that wherever we mail, I drew a circle, I knew that county, but wherever I'm going to mail in that county, then I really still make sure I pick the right area. Step 3. Okay. So got your head around that. All right, Jill, I'm following you. Pick my criteria, troll around, find an area where my criteria is going to work. Noted. Got it. I'm going to run the test. Got it. And then you're going to get the data. So you are going to, and we provide this, we help you with, we have access to nationwide data for you to get the best, fastest, customizable ownership data available. It's straight from the assessor. And my number one tool now is Data Tree. And that's what we use. And when you're in Land Academy, you have nationwide access to this, so you can get your hands on this data. So how far back? That's a good question, Christian. I think it goes back as far as, sometimes I think people pull the listing down, and I think sometimes they just mark it sold and they put the date in there. It could be And it could just be the age of that MLS. And since Zillow was collecting MLS in that county. So that's a really good question on the sold comps. I personally don't really care beyond 6 or 12 months anyway, because what sold 3 years ago doesn't do me any good right now. I really only want to know what sold comps were for 6 to 12 months right now. And why? Because it's changing. I usually only look at 12 months comps, but now I toggle between 6 and 12 months to get a good idea. So I love these questions, by the way. You just pop them in and I'll try to answer them. I'll get to the CRM here in a few minutes. Do you have to be a citizen to buy and sell land in Canada? You do not. We have bought and sold land in Canada. We were just talking about the other day, Prince Edward Island, I think, was most recent property. It was not cheap. So we don't do much land in Canada because as a US citizen, when you buy land in Canada, you are taxed, your taxes paid to Canada are collected when you close on the property and you sell it. And I'm like, all right, that's expensive. So, but you can, so that's good. The thing with Canada is ownership data is not as accessible as our ownership data here. But again, great question. Okay, so speaking of data, we get our data. Great, that's step 4. Step 5, you scrub the data. You collect pricing stuff, by the way. You scrub the data to weed out, the fire department or the city of fill in the blank. Sometimes things just kind of work their way in there. You might weed out international addresses. We have a laundry list of things that we help you with in Land Academy. So you can watch on one screen how Jack does it, and then you do it on your screen. So you're really learning it and doing it side by side. So in Land Academy, and you get in the mail, and we show you how to price. We show you what to think about, like I said, and then if it makes your head hurt, because I understand that, for a lot of folks, scrubbing this data when you're doing like a couple thousand lines at a time and doing all that, it's some people comes very naturally too, like my sweet Jack. He has a PhD in Excel. I definitely do not. I shine on the phone. Anyway, so we can solve that for you. We have created our own company, or shared our sources. Basically, we shared our team within our company, and it's Concierge Data. And you could pick up the phone and call them, and they'll do that. So just so you know, if you're new to this and it scares you, or you're just too busy, or and that's for a lot of things. A lot of our really successful Land Academy members use Concierge to keep them on track, because they know you got to keep the mail going out, and they're just too busy, or they just don't like it. They're like, I'd rather just pay somebody else to do it. So our team will do it for you. So you scrub it, you price the offers. These are offers with real dollar amounts that go in the mail to these sellers. So I'm just kind of skipping. I'm trying to just give you the big picture, thoughts. You can kind of wrap your head around the whole process. Then so the mail goes out. All these people that you know what you want to, how you want to sell it, right? So you're sending out offers a lot less than that. So just to give you an idea too, if I'm going to sell a property for $75,000, I'm probably buying it for less than 20. So those are the offers that are going out in the mail. The calls come back. You're fielding those calls. You're getting signed return offers, because the offers that go out, the first cover page is who we are, and then there's an offer letter in there for them to sign it, send it back. And then you're picking the best ones. The more mail you send to, the better, because it's so nice when you have 20 that came in this week and you can line them all up and go, I don't know. Oh my gosh, I got to buy that one. That's how it goes. So you pick the best ones. Then, this is one of my best things too, and this was the whole thing today. What do you mean for zero down? You pick the best ones and you let somebody else fund the deal. It's a money partner. I don't want you to put on a credit card. Don't call your dad. Don't borrow money. Please don't borrow money. if you don't have the money to fund your own deals, and by the way, too, you're not limited to what you have in your bank. Also, if you don't have the funds to do your own deal, get a money partner. There are people like me and a bunch of people in Land Academy that would love to fund your deal. And here's what usually happens. I will fund somebody's deal a couple times. They do great. Next thing you know, they don't need my money anymore. I get it. Now they've got enough. I'm like, okay. And then I wait 6 months and now they're funding somebody else's deals. And that's the best way. So good question. Bradley's asking if I missed this. It's okay. No, you didn't miss it. What's a good ratio of sold and for sale? You know what? Honestly, Bradley, I like 2 to 1. If I've got 100 sold in the last 6 or 12 months and 50 for sale, I'm zeroing in on that area, but I'm still not making the decision yet until I run the red, yellow, green test. And that will really smoke out stuff. With the red, yellow, green test that we do when we put these zip codes together, we look at the number of properties for sale in that zip code as compared to the total number of properties in that whole zip code. And what that percentage is. I want that to be really low. Like, I don't want half the county for sale kind of thing, or half the zip code for sale. That's bad. I want less than 1% of that zip code for sale. And that's all the stuff that we teach you. And what was another thing? You guys are such good questions. And like I said, days on market, things like that. That's what we'll look for. And it's funny because when you get into this red, yellow, green test, sometimes you think, you're like, oh, I know this part of the, I'm looking at the whole county. I know Dallas. I know the Dallas area. And I know that Coppell is going to be better than South Lake or whatever. It's fill in the blank. You might not be. When you run that red, yellow, green test, this is kind of why we started this a couple of years ago. We're like, whoa, you take a step back and you're like, I was totally wrong. This is a zip code to mail. And I wouldn't have picked up on that. This one has much better days on market than this one. And that's what my gut was telling me. So that's how we have it. So excellent questions. Does the red, yellow, yep, it does. Yep. And how old is too old? This is a good question. Thank you, Sunny. Sunny said, does the red, yellow, green test refer to days on market? Yes. And how old is too old? It's relative to the other zip codes. So I can't say has to be less than 30. It might be 32. Because when you're lining up all the zip codes, you might have 32 days on market, 36 days on market, 80 days on market, 120 days on market, 150 days on market. Now I know, all right, these top 2 are the ones I like. These other 2 I don't like, or these other 3 I don't like. So that's how you do that. Excellent questions. Okay. I'm having a hard time keeping up with the chat. So I'm going to let you guys, to enlarge the print, you can, by the way, you should be able to grab the slide and just make it bigger with your finger or your mouse, hopefully, and make me small on the page there. Okay. Oh, you got it. Okay. Thank you. So yeah. So the chat's hard. So if you put in the Q&A, then I can check off the questions and then I know I didn't miss it. So, how do I structure the deals? I'll tell you, Alejandro, good question. Anything and everything. I will fund. How about this? I am happy to fund up to and including 100%. What do I usually fund? 100%. I have a lot of people coming to me. They're like, we got to do this deal, Jill. I'm like, well, what is it? And they'll show it to me. And it's like, we're buying it for 18 grand. I think I can sell it for 60, maybe 75. I got 2 agents standing by, chomping at the bit to list this for me because they think that's what it's worth. I'm like, done, and done. I can't write a check for 18 grand fast enough, nor would you. So you can see how it works on the reverse. So you just got to find these deals. That's the point here. And however you and I want to work it out, I have seen all kinds of ways as far as splitting the profit. So my favorite way, since we're talking about it, is I'm normally 100% the bank And I'm normally, because I've got so many deals of my own going on and Land Academy going on, that I'm like, look, I don't want to do any work. I'm here. I'm a sounding board. You need me. Got some big decisions or a problem. I am right there. But the day-to-day thing, I'm going to trust you on this one. So you go sell it. Hit me if you need it. And then what we usually do, they're like, great. And then at the end, usually what we do is we split the profit. That's it. Whatever the whole, when we subtract, closing costs, subtract, if we had a broker on the sell side, lots of times I do, and some of these bigger dollar amounts, especially, subtract the broker commission, and we're staring at, X amount of dollars. That's our profit. You and I split it 50-50, and then you get paid out of escrow. I'm not writing you a check. You get your money when I get my money. And it's the greatest thing. So that's that. And that's how you let someone, like I said, be the bank for you. Then either step 8, this is right, 10 steps of how this whole thing works. Step 8 is post it for sale yourself. You could do a flat rate MLS, get on there, or use a land focused agent / broker. I have so many, the tables have churned from a couple years ago. 5 years ago, this wasn't the case. 10 years ago, definitely not the case. It was really hard to find land people that were good. And especially like Mossy Oak and Whitetail Properties, some of those guys, I've got really phenomenal brokers, and we work great together. And I'm happy to pay a commission because they earn it and they sell these properties. And so I'm not even working that hard on the sell side, by the way. And I bake that much into it. There's so much profit. Think about it. What if I'm an easy number? You know what? I'm going to show you an example. So we'll get to some easy numbers here, but that's how that works. So post for sale, like I said, split the profit. However, you and your money partner set it up. You and I, might agree on this. I've heard of people do things like, if you sell it within 30 days, you get this percentage, whatever it is. It's up to you. And then repeat, and don't stop sending mail. That I cannot stress enough. We have within Land Academy an advanced group, and it's everyone that graduates from our high level coaching program called Career Path. And we just finished one yesterday. So if you're here from Career Path 5, I miss you already. And Career Path 6 is coming sometime, I think springtime 2023. We haven't planned it out yet, but one of the things we joke about in our advanced group is there's one way to solve any problem in this business, in our business right here in land, and that is send more mail. That's it. The more deals you have you're staring at, the more mail, the better it all is. So, okay, so I'm gonna give you some case studies here just because you can really see some numbers. And you know what, Mark, with HOAs, sure, I look at that. I mean, it doesn't make a difference on whether or not I'm doing the deal or not, but I need to know, about an HOA. And do I buy a property in HOA? Sure. Do I sometimes turn it away? Sure. You guys are awesome. I'm going to catch up on your questions here. I was advised not to Jeff home. All right, I'm going to get to that in a minute here. I'm going to see if there's any questions that are pertinent right now. So, okay, anonymous. How do I choose a location to research in the first place? Just like that, trolling. That's what Jack does. Like I said, on his Sunday morning, afternoon, fill in the blank, he's sitting there on his phone all the time, just kind of looking at areas and just kind of seeing what's out there and seeing what pops up. It's kind of nonstop for him. So that's how Jack does it. For me, I'm in it more. I'm doing most like our deal funding, and a lot of the actual transactions have shifted to my side of the company, and I'm dealing with that part. So I'm talking to people, I'm looking at deals all day long. I'm working with my brokers too. And I'll have brokers. I was telling you, like, I have a whitetail property guy in Tennessee, and I can't tell you how many times he'll call me and say, you know what, I need you to go out. If you can go out and get me anything in this little area over here, over 20 acres, I could sell it in 5 minutes. I'm like, done. I'll go get them. So I've got my ear out there that I'm always listening, and picking up on things. So, okay, so let me give you some examples. So this is one, both of these examples, I was the money partner. So this is Platte County, Missouri, 4.2 acres, accepted offer price was $25,000. Here's the property. Look at the access right here off Stephanie Lane. Isn't that great? Here's kind of the satellite view. So you can see, look at these trees. This is what I love too. I love these deals. When there's houses all around and this is left over, love it. When there's nothing all around, I'm not so excited, but this one I am, because like, all right, this is, somebody's been hanging on to this. This could be a little gem here that, like I said, because it's all built up. So if anybody wants to live in this area, good luck finding land. I've got one. Here it is from the Google Earth. So even though out here, this is ag, kind of ag, you can tell it's being used for that. Looks like they've got some kind of branch out there or something. But this, all of this built up around here, and it's not like a cookie cutter subdivision. You can just tell. So and it's a nice size. Who doesn't want 4 acres? So here's how this one went. All in with closing costs was $25,864.25. Listed with an agent, 51 grand. Why? Make my life easier. And sometimes too, some of the dollar amounts that I'm dealing with, it's just the agents, they have people that they've been working with and already kind of have buyers often lined up. It just makes sense. Not to mention too, when I have a property that I'm selling for $200,000, it's, even though I put on the MLS, people kind of expect to have a broker involved, the buyers, that is. And it's not like I'm not going to put that on Facebook. I mean, maybe I am, but that's kind of not really the marketplace. So that's where they come in. But so anyway, the point of this is I funded the deal, and out of escrow, the person who brought the deal to me, he didn't put $1 in. He did send mail. He had to do the data and he had to send the mail. He had to get the deal and bring it to me. But then he got paid $10,623. And that was after all the agent commissions and everything for that one. And then one more I'm going to show you. I'm going to answer some questions here. So this was Hopkins County, Texas. I love this one. 13.84 acres. Accepted offer price was $39,000. Like, we kind of rounded up. Our offer prices don't go out like that, but you learn that in Land Academy. There's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of little moving parts. I'm giving you kind of the big picture, high level steps, showing you what's possible. And so you can kind of see. Here it is again. I mean, like, what a pretty area. I love seeing the trees. And it's interesting, this one, you can tell it's obviously got like a utility easement kind of going through here. I don't care. It's 13 acres. Sometimes it makes a difference. The smaller ones, it does. This one, it did not. And those are all things that we talk about and look about and cover and help you with inside of Land Academy. Like, okay, like this easement, when is this a bad thing? When is it okay? And you can really see it here. But look, all this road frontage. This is great. Awesome access. This one, remember, it was $39,000 with closing costs. That's what it was, $40,000 for $349.81. I literally last night went into, I'm going to answer the question right now. Anonymous, you asked me about my CRM Airtable. So I answered that. So last night I was working on this and I went and got some current data for you. And I jumped into Airtable and grabbed these numbers to pop them in. So this one we listed with a local agent and we sold it for $127. I love these numbers. And so the deal manager, what they got paid out of escrow was $38,000 and $38,682.61 is what that person. So they had to go. So did that pay for the mail? Yeah. And that paid for a lot more mailers. That probably paid this pays for their mails for the next couple of years. I mean, think about it. So we talked about buying and selling land with a money partner to fund. So we answered that question. How do I buy it without any money down? There you go. I'll be your bank. So now I'm going to talk just for a few minutes about recession proofing this. And then I'm going to get more into, you guys are awesome. Thank you, Jemay. Jemay and I were emailing each other today. Jemay's in the chat helping answer questions. I really appreciate that. Thank you. All right. So to recession proof your land business, because this is important, right? I mean, I don't mean to take this lightly. This is really important. I don't want to jump into something that could go under in a year. I wouldn't either. So I'm telling you, and this is based on the living and feeling and breathing, going through the whole last one, which was 2009, 2010. And then Jack had another one or two before that he weathered. And there's a couple things that we did. And that's, what I want to help you with. So if you really want to do this right and you want to always be able to put food on your table, buying and selling land, no matter what's going on, you got to buy these right. That's it. And you got to pay cash. You got to find great property. You got to pay cash or your money guy's cash. It doesn't matter who it is, because we're going into this too. When I put my money down, please remember, it's my money. So we both made this decision together. I'm not just trusting you. I look at it too, because I want to make sure you made a good decision. And if anything goes sideways, it's, I was in the decision. It's my money. I'm not going to come back to you and say, hey, Jemay, you owe me 12 grand. No, it's my money. But, so you got to make really good decisions. So, and how do I make really good decisions? All right, Jill, I got that. What do I do? You really do your due diligence. Like you brought up HOA. Yeah. I mean, that's one of the many things that we check. And there's really 6 very important things that I look at in my due diligence to make these decisions. And that is coming to you as a gift at the very end of this. I have a sweet handout that I put together that's going to cover what I look at. And I have pictures for you, an example, and we call it our 6 A's, so that you will get that at the end. So that's what I use. I'm going to also consult local experience. I want to make sure I'm not screwing up here. I may or may not list with an agent, doesn't matter. You can call land people and ask them, hey, I've got this property. I want to know what you think. What do you think you could sell it for inside of 90 days? Don't tell them anything else. Don't tell them what you're buying it for, anything like that. Just let them assume, you've had it for 20 years. They don't know, and get their feedback. And when they say, oh, I could sell this for 120 all day long. I've got 6 people right now looking for something like this. You're like, okay, let me call you back. And that's when you really quick go run and close the deal. Like, okay, I got to buy this right now. So, that's another way. And use money. Like this is, pay cash, whether it's your money or somebody else's money, your money or my money, it doesn't matter. You cannot finance this stuff. You don't want to be under the gun. You don't want to worry about it. So if you pay cash for these, a couple things. You're not going to worry about how long it takes to sell. No one's bugging you. You don't have to make any payments. There's no interest. And then also, this is what saved us, in the downturn the last time. We buy them with the way we buy them. I know I can double my money or I'm not going to buy it at that moment. Usually it's more than that. So I have a lot of wiggle room. So that's how you make good decisions and recession proof this for yourself. You have property that even if I sell it less than I thought I was, I am still making a great profit. And I know, we're not going hungry kind of thing. So, and then be unbelievably picky. I was, again, thinking about this last night, and I talked about this today on our Thursday call, and I think I talked about it on Clubhouse. But I turned down a lot of deals, especially right now. And coming into what we're coming into, I'm actually personally excited. I think there's going to be a lot of people, they're going to want to offload land that they thought they were going to hunt on or build their dream cabin or fill in the blank. They're not living there right now. This is not their primary residence. That's a different story. This is land that's out there. Maybe they inherited it and they were holding on to it, and now they need the dough. So they're going to want to sell. I see it getting really, it's going to be a nice acquisition year for us coming up in 2023, especially. So you got to be really, really picky and make really good decisions. And is it going to be a good sales year? Yep. Because I'm going to buy it right. And there's still plenty of people out there like me, and you read the news. There's a lot of people out there with money that wait for this stuff. They wait to pick up these deals. They don't know how to find them. You do. Now you do. And you will know even better here soon if you want with us at Land Academy. So because this is not our first time. So, and I mentioned that in the beginning, I feel bad. You get to know when I first jump into this too, even 13 years ago, there weren't a lot of people in the space and there weren't a lot of places to post property. So I got to know a lot of my quote unquote competitors and, we kind of worked together on things and I remember some of them not making it and I felt so bad. That they couldn't weather the storm. So, but that's why you have us. That's part of Land Academy. I threw a couple of, this is from Discord, some of our success stories in Discord. I threw a couple things in here just to kind of give you a little feel for what goes on in our community. This is a closed group. And when you join Land Academy, you're in here. This is 24/7. So I have to warn you, if you join Land Academy and you get in Discord, you could get bogged down in here because not only are just amazing learning and deals and things in there that you're going to just absorb and get help with inside there, but it's entertaining. We have a Janae, I'm trying to think who else. I'll see some people join in here, but people in Land Academy, we all have a good sense of humor and we have a good time and we really do help each other. It's awesome. So this person, Mark, this is just this is 2 weeks ago, did my first mailer. He sent out 7,500 units. So far, 16 signed contracts. This is the beauty of this too. I am still getting phone calls from like 2000 and, before I was with Jack in this. I'll get calls from 2006 saying, hey, I got your offer. Do you still want to buy my property? Kind of thing. They got it. They didn't sing to them, but they put it in their file and now they're calling. So it's really hard to track. We joke about conversion rates. It's hard to track with this because how do you track deals that come in from 15 years ago? You can't. So Shannon wrote, we just completed our 6th transaction and I want to say thank you to everyone with our group. We have an awesome group. All right, here's a number. Jack and Matthew here were chatting back and forth. And he said, I just got an all cash offer, $335,000 total for both properties. They're adjacent. After my investor split, it should be $120,000. Like, unfortunately, Matthew did not come to me on that one. I was in the bank. That would have been really nice. That's okay. But I don't care. This is what this is all about, and truth time. There are many members of Land Academy that are making more money than me some months. And I think that's the best thing on the planet. That's like the ultimate parental pride. I love hearing your numbers and how well you're doing because I'm like, yay, I know we got you, we got you there. And I'm just so happy. It just is great. And then just think of me if you need me someday. Let's see, Greg went to the bank, wired to pay off the amount of my home mortgage. Oh, this is really cool. He wired off the payoff amount for my home mortgage, 30-year loan. He paid it off in 8 years. He pulled the last few $1,000 he needed from his land account. So that was like, talk about, that still gives me goosebumps. Like, being able to do that and just now I could just breathe. And what do I want to do? It's awesome. Luke wrote, I like this. I think that actually the biggest lesson Land Academy has taught me, the mind shift and their understanding how much money can be made and how simply actions done consistently can easily transform your net worth in a very short period of time. I think their traditional education creates a limiting mindset, and I feel Land Academy has set me free in my thinking and has transformed how I look at the entire world. I love capitalism and this business model. So much to learn and more challenges to overcome for sure, but with such a big such a high payoff versus anything else, it's an amazing situation to be in. So I just wanted to share a few of those with you because I love this stuff. Okay, finally, let me tell you what I got going on. And then Jimmy, yeah, Discord is the best. And then I'm going to get through all these other, I have a bunch of questions here and I love these. Keep them coming. So I don't want you to have to go it alone. Here's the thing about Land Academy. There's a lot of free resources out there. Yes, we are one of them. Our podcast is a really good example. The podcast has been going on 8 years. I think we're tipping 2,000 episodes. So you could sift through 2,000 episodes and go it on your own, but you don't have to. So I don't want you to have to go it alone. I don't want you to have to spend 10 years trying to figure this out and hope you catch up to me and my group. So join Land Academy if this sings to you at all, and we will help you. And I mean, we are a tight group. I keep it below 500, by the way, just so you know, or around 500, I should say. I'll hit 500. We do have the very best, tightest community. We all think alike. So here you go. Here's what you've been waiting for, or one of the things you've been waiting for. So, and you guys are hearing it first. This is not going to be released really to the public tomorrow. The email and everything goes out tomorrow. The replay is going to go out tomorrow. So this is just for you. So you join now, between now and the end of the year, it's half off. Let's just say that. And I haven't done this in a long time. And I don't really have plans to do it again at this price because we're going to make some changes in 2023. But for right now, today, this is for you. I'm just going nuts here at the end of 2022. So, and you get everything. So it's half off the whole education bundle. There's 4 programs because we want you to have them all. You get the original one that we rolled out with in 2015. 2018, we updated that because we'd made some changes in 3 years, right? You need to know what we're doing then. 2019, we came out with infill lots. A lot of us were doing infill lots, right? Getting ready for what just happened. All the builders were grabbing infill lots like crazy recently. 2022, this year, we came up with Land Academy 3.0, catching up with Land Academy. Why? Because we made changes to how we run our land business, as should you. So when you join Land Academy 2, all the education, if I come out, and I will, there will be a 2024 as we're learning new things and new tweaks and new nuances, and we change the education. That's included. As long as you're an active paying member at that time, you don't have to pay for the new program I just roll out. If you're in the land program, the next land thing is automatically included. So just so you know. And then in addition to all the education in there, you know, you have deed templates, you've got our mailer templates, you have Jack's equity planner, we have the red, yellow, green zip code thing. And that's a long chapter, I'll warn you. Yeah, that and pricing, but you'll learn how to do it. And it's our education too. It's not just reading. It's really watching and listening, and like Jack will say, here's what I'm going to go do, and watch me do it. And so you can pause and go back and replay it. And like, okay, now it took me 3 times, but now I understand the Hawaii prices. Got it, you know, kind of thing. So it's our whole business model, whole thing in there, soup to nuts. I learned that a couple of years ago from Jack. So right now, what's half off? So it's $1,200. It's normally $2,400, but right now it's half off. And I mean, like this minute. So if you want, here's the link. So, all right. So, you know, oh, we have somebody good. You guys are dropping it in there. You could drop in good. There's the page, drop in the code. We'll drop in the half off code. So you can click on that and copy the code in. So that'll be good. So, and then the $295 a month, I'll tell you more what that is too. So it's $1,200 for the whole bundle. You pay $295 a month for the tools and the support and all the membership. That's all rolled in. And then the first 10 people that join in, I don't usually do this outside of, we just do our career path kind of high level coaching, but I want to make something special for today. So the first 10 people, you're going to get a 30-minute consulting with me. And you can, whether you want to use it, next week or next month or whatever, bring it. I would recommend saving it up a little bit, like get your feet wet, make it count. Come at me with some like really good, hey, I want to talk about these deals. I want to talk about, Jill, how you talk to this kind of a seller on the phone, whatever it is. So the first 10 people to join Land Academy will get that special thing. And so my team just put it in there. Thank you, Jemay. So there's a special, it's live.landacademy.com/go. And if you put the promo code in at the bottom, scroll down, there's a button below where the money is, and you put promo code half off, and it takes the half off the program for you. Now, so what the tools are, I want to make sure you know really what you're getting. So it's our whole business model. So let me back up and just say this too. We did not set out to become Land Academy. It happened. We were land investors, and that's all we were for a very long time, happily being land investors, not needing this at all, not needing, any of this, right? Doing just fine, having a good time. Well, what happened was so many of I was selling property to other investors, and those buyers would come to me and say, all right, Jill, I'm in your world. I'm buying it from you. I'm marking it up and I'm selling it on terms, or, whatever it is. They're doing like owner financing or just marking it up a bit and selling it again. And they're like, how the heck are you buying it so cheap? They didn't know that. So we like, well, here's what you do. You got to get the data. You got to send out offers. You got to answer the phone. You got to do this. You got to do that. And so we had enough of our buyers asking us. I'm like, all right, let's just put something together. Let's, Jack and I together decided, let's just spend some time on it. This was 2014, took 6 months of this and put together our whole business model. And it's funny because Jack's like, no one's going to want this. That was the best. Jack's like, I bet we're going to sell 5, like kind of thing. But we put it together, and holy moly, I couldn't have predicted what was going to happen. It clearly sung to you and in our community, and it's amazing and awesome. So anyway, what I was going to say about this is when we were putting this all together, every time we had a question, we would say, should we put this in? Does everybody need to know this? We're like, yeah, let's just put it in. Like, okay, we talk about LLCs. When do I need an LLC? When do I need to do this? What is my website? Do I need a website? Do I need to do that? Whatever it is. So it's really everything to know to go from 0 to me is in there. So, and if, like I said, if you're here and you're still on this call, you can wrap your head around this. You understand the land business or idea about what we're doing. So, and how we're finding them. So we'll get you there. We'll get you there. I mean, I've had all kinds of, now we're how many years? 8 years of Land Academy. So I have enough real world experience with real world people in our community that I can say, we've had it all. I've had people that I thought they're not going to make it, and then they proved me wrong. It's really about you. You've got the determination. I only need you to have money to get the mail out. I need you to afford to download data and get the mail out, do a couple deals like we just did. I'll be the bank, and then wait 5 minutes and you won't need my money anymore. So that's what usually happens. So you get everything in there, access to the tools that even came along later. So what that membership price is so you could have the tools like Data Tree, Title Pro, connect with us on Discord, all those other things, the support you need to be successful too. You have access to us every single week, every single Thursday. Those of you in Land Academy right now know what I'm talking about. We're here, and that's my other thing too. I like to keep this community small so we can really personally give you the attention that you deserve and you need. I really want to get you there. 24/7, discounted mail, all that stuff. So here's what I want to tell you too. I'm hearing this a lot, especially right now. Like, people are looking at me like, why is this so cheap? I'm like, I know. I am going to raise it in 2023. So between now and the end of the year, this offer's still going. So I'd say if you're thinking about it, this is the time to do it, because it's not going to be like this really again. Because I will raise the prices in 2023, and any discount won't be like it is right now. So, and I am going to close up membership. I know what's going to happen between now and the end of the month. So, how many people do we have? Oh, the 10 are already gone? We have 10 already? Oh, 4 of 10. You scared me. I'm like, we already have 10? Like, maybe I'm going to have to do more consulting. So, shoot. Okay, how about this? All right. I'm going to okay, my team knows what I'm going to say, and I'm going to say it anyway. Whoever checks out while I am live right now, if we go more than 10, I will still do a consulting. How's that? So you guys can keep me busy. That is totally fine. So whoever checks out now on this thing, if it's number 12 or number whatever, you will still get a consulting. That's my promise to you. So, okay. No, and I'm not going to hurry up and cut this off. So I want to get to all these questions. All right. But I am going to close it up. So I know what's going to happen between now and the end of the year. And I know, I'm going to get my group where I need it to be, size wise. So we're going to close it up. So I know January 1, we're closing this up, and then sometime, February-ish, I don't know yet. We will reopen it. But here's the other cool thing too. We're planning some really good stuff for next year, including some more career path sessions for those of you who really want to take this to the next level, make this your career, or maybe you're in this industry in another way, and this is just a better way for you to, run your business or find deals, whatever it is. That's what career path is for. I'm making 2 million a year. I want to make 8 million a year. That's what career path is for. So that's come back. And I've got some other things up my sleeve that we're really throwing around too. A get together, in person, live event again. We haven't done them since before COVID, and I miss seeing you all. So we're talking about that for 2023. So we need January to regroup and talk about this stuff and plan it all. So that's part of it too. But so now is the time. And like I said, the new additions that we're going to roll out, anything with Land Academy 4.0, 5.0, 8.0, while you're in and you're, regular paying member, that's just, hey, we uncovered some new things now, and this is how we're doing it. Here you need to go. Here's what you need to go. And it's just there for you. It just pops in. So again, you see where to go. And I know I said 10, but now it's going to be more than 10. So yay. All right. I'm going to welcome David, Ryan, John, Brad, Charles, I see, Bryce, and consulting calls only if you check out before this live ends. That's it. So before the live ends are the consulting calls. I think they want me to say this for the replay. So got it. Perfect. So now how many we have now? That's 5. Okay. Like I keep up here. So awesome. Are there 6? Oh, excuse me. Yay. Oh, I'm excited. I know, and some of these names, I know you, and this is just the push you needed, and I understand. So that's part of what this is about. So you can't say no now. You've been with us, following us for how long, and showing up on our calls. Now you got to do it. Okay. So another little thing for everybody, just so you know, one of the things that we do, and this is Land Academy too. When you need something, I'm gonna do my best to make it happen. We came up with Parcel Fact to help you find properties and do things, look, because they don't have an address. I have state, county, APN. I can't put that in Google Earth. That doesn't work. So that's how we created Parcel Fact a couple of years ago. Well, one of the things we also created a couple of years ago was a cheap mail service. So we now do our own mail. I got tired of trying to explain it or try to help you explain it. It's expensive. People don't get us, what we're trying to do. And so we solved that with our own company. We'll even do the mail merge for you and even pull and scrub the data for you if you want. So when you have time, not now, when you have time, check out offers and the number 2 owners.com. That's our own direct mail company. And they have a special going on right now through Christmas. 11% off of just the mail product. So there's the coupon code. And then you can go on the website and it's there too. And then for concierge data, that's my team that you can call. What concierge does is, hi, I've done all my work. I ran the red, yellow, green test. I know where I want to send the mail. I need help now. And say, I need all the 2 to 10 acres. Here are the zip codes. Here's the county, fill in the blank, however you want to do it. Here's, if you have any other nuances you want to add to that, whatever it is, they will download it. I'm going to get to, this is going to touch on the price thing too. And I will get to that question. They will download it. They will scrub it. They will go and web Harvey scrape for you current, active, and sold comps. Tell them what you want. If you want 6 months, 12 months, or something else, you could be that specific and tell them what you want for those size ranges, right, in the property. And then they'll serve it up to you on a silver platter, like ready to go. And they'll put in, you give them like your company information, and they'll kind of make the mailer. They'll make the mailer for you, literally. And then when you get it back, all you have to do is eyeball it. Make sure my company's right, name, whatever, all that's filled out right. You're going to put in the percentages you want for the offers. Now, like, okay, I gave them all the information. They made it beautiful. They gave it back to me. And now I'm looking at, okay, this is a price per acre for all the 2 to 10s. And then all the 10 to 20 acres, this is an average price per acre. Okay, got that. And then you tell them, all right, I want you to mail out this size at 20% of that number. I want this size at 22% of that number, whatever it is. And they'll go back and run it down for you, put the prices in there for you, send it to you. You eyeball it again. This is where I want you to really I want you to do test for reason and spot check these numbers. Make sure if the offer came back signed, you'd still buy it today. So spend an hour or 2 at least, kind of going through, checking them all, testing for reason. And then you say, yep, good to go. And they'll get it in the mail for you. So it takes so much work out of it. I thought that this concierge would be a hit among new folks more than seasoned folks, but it's the opposite. It's a real seasoned Land Academy heavy hitters that are sending out over 10,000 units a month. And they love this. They're like, I don't want to do it. I'd rather pay your guys to do it. It is so worth it to me. And it keeps me on track. I'm like, got it, done. Because that frees you up, by the way. What you should be doing as an owner here, now our questions. What you should be doing here is picking the counties and pricing the things and talking to the sellers and doing these deals. Oh, sure. I will show you. Hold on a moment here. And we'll talk about that more in Land Academy. When you get into Land Academy, when you go to the equity planner, hey, for the 6 of you, and soon to be Joseph here in a minute, I'm going to show you Joseph. When you get into Land Academy, you get in the equity planner, there's a tab on there that talks about, the process of the business and what you should be really spending your time on and what you should outsource as quick as possible. So you're really only focusing on the things you need to do. Like, do you need to be answering the phone? Maybe not. Maybe you shouldn't be, especially when you're really sending out a lot of mail. You don't have time to answer the phone. Thinking of the next market, you only need to be talking to people, maybe you're calling them back and making the deal, but the initial call, not so much. Okay, so I'm going to show real quick here. Can we see my screen? Yes. Okay, good. All right. So I will show you. I need to copy in the link here. There we go. Okay. So here is the page. So I know it's kind of hidden. Joseph, you are not nuts. We need to, we're changing this, so don't worry. But here you put in half off. Hopefully let me make this bigger. Here we go. All right. That's kind of bigger. All right. So if you scroll down to the bottom where you have the promo code, you put that in there, half off, and then you hit apply and it takes it off here for you. So that's what you want to do. All right. Awesome. All right. I'm going to stop screen sharing for now, unless I have a question that needs it. And then I will come back to that because I want to answer your question. You guys have these great questions. Let me get my chat back in here. Hold, please. There's my Q&A. All right, got it. There's the chat. All right. Okay, so hello, anonymous attendee. Okay, so we'll get through these. I promise you, hang with me and I will get through your questions here. I'm clicking them. Hopefully you guys can all see them. I'm trying to open them all up. So okay. For smaller lots under $10,000, how long is the process from buying and sending mail to owners and then getting offers and then purchase and then reselling the land? I have a full-time job. Is it realistic to do 1 or 2 sales a month? Yeah. Yeah, it is. Actually, it's kind of funny you say that. We have a person in our advanced group that was just giving us some numbers today, and let's just say he's making over $1 million a year and he's averaging a deal a month. So you can do numbers that I'm not sure what's that message. Okay, I'll get to that in a minute. Okay, will I see it when I get to it? Yeah. Okay, got it. All right, sorry. Okay. But you can do a deal a month and do and just make it count. I mean, look at the numbers that I showed you. Think about these deals that I just queued up and what I'm talking about. If you're busy and you have a full-time job, say you're just like, I'm going to do a deal a month and I'm going to make 50 grand on that deal. Can you do that? Yeah. Are the people in our community doing that? Yeah. So what am I doing? I'm buying for 20 and I'm selling for 80 because I want to have wiggle room in there too for my commissions and my escrow fees and maybe some, oops, I thought it was going to be 80. I took an offer for 75, whatever, kind of thing. That's how it goes. So you can. And I did a blog a while back. I need to do it again, but I spelled it out how you could do this whole thing honestly on just a Sunday afternoon. Like imagine you only have the weekends. So it's the kids are napping, playing outside, you have a job, you have kids, I get it. So Sunday afternoon, you carve out, I can always find 4 hours. I make a deal with my partner. They give me 4 hours to do this. Fine. So the first Sunday afternoon is your time trolling. Like I showed you, you're going to sit there and find an area to do it. And that's all you do, but you spend 4 hours going, all right, I got 3 counties I feel really good about. Now, next week, you sit down and you're going to go in and run your red, yellow, green test and make sure you pick the right zip codes and you have it all locked in. You know what your acquisition criteria is and you've got it down. So you're like, oh, now I know what I want to do. And let's just say this is all on Sunday. So at the end of Sunday, you send a note, you have an email waiting in the inbox for concierge saying, I need you to pull and scrub this data for me and these 3, 4, 5, whatever it is, zip codes in these areas or these counties, kind of thing. And then next Sunday, you sit down and it's all done, ready to go for you, right? You have your offers are ready to go out in the mail almost. You just have to do your last little bit pricing. So now we're on weekend 3 on Sunday afternoon. You're like, all right, got the data. I'm ready to go. I need to just put in my price percentage. I need to make sure these numbers work for me. And yep, they do. Test for reason, whatever you put in the pricing. Maybe we don't have time to wait to get back to you, but you see where I'm going with this. And the mail goes out, right? So that's week 3. Now, week 4-ish is when, now the mail is going to start hitting somewhere between week 4, week 5. you are, they're coming back at you now. Your phone's ringing, the stuff's hitting kind of thing. So you're going to sit down, collect them all. We only have so much time. Look, and I want you to do this at one time too. I like it when you review a bunch of deals at once, because it's much easier than like, this one deal. Maybe I can make it work. Maybe I can't make it work. But when you're staring at 10, you're going to go, nope, this stinks. What the heck? This one I just looked at had way better access than this one. You're going to easily pick out the best ones when you're looking at them all one time. You're getting them in the mail. I don't know, we're still week 5-ish, or we're getting the deal done. I should say we're buying it. So now I'm kind of in escrow. Now this is a thing too, and we'll talk about this, and you'll learn this more in Land Academy. Depends on your dollar point and depends on your price point. If you're going to self-close it, just making your own deed basically, or going through escrow. So there's a little bit of a lapse there, but the right escrow person, especially right now, because they're slowed down a lot, they can do these in under 2 weeks. I have people that can do mine in 7 with title insurance. So, and we will help you with that. So that's that. Now, and by the way, while you're buying it, while it's closing, you got your photographer going out there, you're getting pictures, all kinds of stuff. If you're going to post it yourself for sale, if you do it the way I'm doing it, you're not doing that. All you're doing is finding an agent. You're spending, one afternoon calling local brokers and picking the one that you love to close the deal for you and do their stuff. So, thank you. So they're going to sell it for you. And then I've had things, and then I want to talk about fast. There's another question here. How fast can you sell these things? If you buy great property and you price it right and you don't retail price it, you mark it up where you're doubling your money, but it's still a smoking deal for your buyer, you're going to sell it fast. I have had deals where I signed the listing paperwork on Friday, and then on Sunday we have 3 offers. I'm like, which you're like, yay, that's great. And all it does is me is like, shoot, I underpriced it. I could have asked more. That's okay. It's fine, because I know I still got what I wanted, and they're obviously in love with it. And then I can pick the best one. And who do I usually pick? Even if it's more money, I usually pick the cash guy. Whoever's going to do cash, because they're fast, easy close, and they're not messing around. I don't really want to do the financing, but this is stuff too. This is all the stuff that we all talk about all day long in Discord and in our community and on our calls. So good questions. So you can do 1 or 2 sales a month. That was a long way to say it. Hello, Darren Young. Hi, Jill. I'm from Michigan, watching you and Jack. Hey, we just spent a lot of time in Michigan. Awesome. That's where I brought that Jeep home from Grand Rapids. And other land investors, I've recently been trying to dip my toes in learning about land, and I found a potential deal of a lot in a rural area of luxury houses. I like the lot is between 2 houses in the $500,000 to $600,000 range. Trying to figure out what to pay, and if it's a good deal, how would I know? So I don't back into it that way. So, well, here's a rule of thumb. I should do this. If it's on the MLS, I'm usually not going to do the deal. Why? Because somebody else got there first. I want to get there first. If it's on the MLS, often there's an agent involved. Excuse me 1 second here. And I use agents on the sell side, but I never use agents on the buy side. It's me and the seller. It's part of how I get these great deals too. So, if a home is selling for $500,000, now this is changing a lot with lumber prices and everything. And I'll be honest with you, Jack is the best person for this number, but usually you have to back into builders are willing to pay like 20 to 25% for the dirt of what the home sale is worth. So if it's going to sell for, let's just say $400,000, they would traditionally pay up to $100,000 for the dirt. Now, this all varies depending on what the building costs are. Of course, if it's $1 million house, it makes it easier. But that's just kind of a rule of thumb. So, all right, great. So I need to sell it sub $100,000 to these guys, because they're going to put a couple $100,000 in to build the house. to sell it for 400, right? And they want to have a good profit there. So say I want to sell it for 90 in this scenario. So that means what do I gotta do? I got to go buy it for 30 because I don't want to mess around. I want to have wiggle. Maybe I buy it for 25, maybe I buy it for 20 in this market. So that's how I back into those deals. This is really good. Hello, Jeff Wolf. Oh, I love this. I was advised not to flip land in Oklahoma. Some odd reason it makes it more difficult. You know what it is? It's the stupid, I know Oklahoma is hard. It's the survey and the, oh God, I'm trying to think what it's called right now. This goes on all the time in Discord. Okay, Land Academy member, somebody put something in chat here and help me out. What you know what I'm talking about? In Oklahoma, we have to do a special kind of a title plant search and a survey. So it's not hard. It's just not as easy. Would I start in Oklahoma? Probably not. Have I done deals in Oklahoma? Heck yeah. Do I love Oklahoma? Oh my goodness, yes. But Jeff, ignore that and we will help you. So make sure it passes the test too, by the way, before we do anything. Back into do the red, yellow, green test and make sure it all passes. So that's good. Hello, Julian here. So should we only find deals if there are enough comps in a specific area within the past year? This is an excellent question. You know what? This is part of me and my experience too, but I love areas where there's not a lot of comps because I know how to go out and kind of figure this out. And I'll show you and I'll teach you and help you too. But when there's not a lot of comps and nobody knows, I like that. That's a good thing for me. That does not stop me. I like seeing things moving, but if there's nothing, there's nothing at all really moving, I'm a little bit worried. I want something selling. I don't want to buy a property, have nobody lives over there and nothing's sold in 3 years because nobody wants to live over there. That I'm not going to do. So, but the first situation I love. Hello, Josh Hogard. Are you still mailing now or waiting until after the holidays or the new year? Great question. Are you kidding? I am letting that mail rip. I am so darn excited. I can't, especially right now, it's kind of fun. If you have mailers that hit this time of year, you can just imagine how great it is for someone to open up your offer letter when their wife is saying, this is how much Christmas is going to cost. And they're like, we are dumping this land. And by the way, I need to dump it in 2022. Jill, how fast can you get this done? Can you close this by 2022? Because I need it for tax reasons in 2022, not 2023. Heck yeah. So I don't stop. And it's funny, Jack and I had to show him this. He didn't think this would happen, but I have sold a lot of property, especially between Christmas and New Year's. I think that the hype is done and there's not much to do and people get on the computer and they find deals. So it's the funniest thing. God, even on a holiday, I've sold property. So yep, don't stop. Good question, Renee. Renee McCleary says, is price worth it? It's funny. One of the price guys, Matt, can't remember. There's two guys. They brought this to us. One of them was a Land Academy member and the was his Air Force pal, and we couldn't sign off on it. This is truth time, and it just was too automated, and it was missing stuff. So that's why we developed concierge, which is not automated. It's a person who's pulling the stuff. They're when that scrape happens, that's what it takes a day or two, by the way, to get it back, especially how much volume. If you give them 10,000 units you want, it's going to take a couple of days, but it's phenomenal. So that's it. It's like the Zestimate, that's different. But I guess what they're doing with price, it's like I said, just too automated. I couldn't wrap our head around. We ran our own tests against it. And I get it. They were trying to do it and they brought it to us, which was really sweet because we could promote it within Land Academy. But at the end of the day, we're just like, it's not as good as Jack and what Jack does, and it's missing stuff. And I'm hearing things too of people saying, oh, shoot, I use price, my offers are way too high. And and this kind of thing, because it couldn't account. There's a human element that has to go into this when you see that there's some weird anomaly. Like when you look at sold comps, even now, if you pull up an area and look at sold comps, there's going to be some weird outlier. Why is that one $1 million and why is this one $1? You know, what the heck is that? That formula doesn't know how to take those out, and that messes with your numbers. So excellent question. But I like those guys, and I wished it would have worked. Hello, Patricia Rob. So does the deal need to be 70% or less of market value to help with funding? Oh, I'm assuming on the sell side. No, I mean, buy for 30, buy for 30,000, sell for 70,000 because it's worth 80 or 90,000. I'm good with that. So that's closer in there. I'm really good with that. So good question. And every deal is different. You know, sometimes there's just hot areas too. And maybe the spread's higher. What if we're buying for, I don't know. Let me ask you this. If you had a property that you bought for $700,000 and sold it for $1 million in a week, would you turn away that $300,000? Because the numbers don't make any sense. Probably not. That's not a traditional deal, but that can happen, and I would do that. So you have to look at it that way too. That's kind of more common in houses, and that's how we look at it and how we do deals in House Academy. You can double your money in House Academy, and that's probably going to come back in a big way in 2023 is what we're predicting. We might revive that too, because what we do here, there, but we don't do any renovations. Just like what we talk about with land, don't do anything to it. You don't need to. You buy it right. Same with houses. That's another webinar that we will do. So good question. Hello, Jake Bryant. We have a couple here from Jake. So how do you determine when a property is worth buying? Oh, you will see that at the end of this. I'm going to give you a link here in a minute for my 6 A's, and it tells you what to check: access, affordability, acreage, attribute, alive, and adjacent. So don't worry, you don't have to write those down. You're going to get something here in a few minutes, and you can just go, I'll give you a link and you can go open it up here and just download it and have it. And it'll tell you everything that you need. And it'll tell you why, what's good access, what's not good access, what I need to look at. So awesome questions. What are some of your favorite tips for buying and selling, buying low and selling? For buying low and selling low, what advice would you give someone just starting out in real estate investing? Education and education, and send a lot of mail. Like those are the two things. Take it in and be involved in this community. There's so much that goes on in Discord. If just sitting there on the couch and trolling through there and seeing like, I was thinking about mailing that area. Look at what this person's talking about. Well, that's really interesting. I never thought about looking at something that way. There's so much that goes on in this community that might, trigger an idea or something. There's so many niches too, by the way. There's about 3,144 approximately counties and parishes in this country. Let's think about that first. Think about how many properties are in those counties. Think about the 2 acres, the 5 acres, the 10 acres, the 40 acres, the fill in the blank, right? So we got that to think about. And then the price, the prices and what you might be looking at in the zone. I might be doing agriculture. You might be looking at commercial properties. Who knows what you're going to find and what niche you're going to go into. And that's one of the greatest things too. We teach you, I want you to have a real broad, I'm teaching you. There's no secret county, by the way. I hope that question's on here. So if not, I'm going to tell you, we do not believe in secret counties. I think that's dumb because it works everywhere. It's just how much do you want to spend kind of thing. Does this work in downtown New York? Yeah. If you want to buy a brownstone, how much you want to spend, and you got to send a lot of mail kind of thing. You could do stuff like that. So you have to, just, like I said, but just focus, get into it, send out a mail, watch our education and get out of your own head. That's one of the things I've heard a lot of new members tell me that helped them was they say, Jill, I had this preconceived notion of how I thought it was going to work. I'm going through what you guys tell me to do, and it didn't make a lot of sense. And they say, but I did it, and I followed you, and you were right. And I'm like, thank you. So those are some of the tips. There's a lot. Robert Reyes says, so why would that seller not already know the real value when it's surrounded with nice homes and swimming pools, for example? They just, especially rural vacant land. How do you know what the infill lot right next to your house or behind your house is worth right now? Think about that. We usually watch up our own home and our primary residence, but stuff like that. Or how about this one? What if dad just passed on and you're going through dad's paperwork and you didn't even know dad owned all this stuff and it's 3 states over? You don't know. That's really how this how this happens a lot. That's really a common story, that the kids inherit it, the wife inherits it. They don't even know what it's worth, and they actually don't even care. They're just like, this is like finding $20,000 in a jacket pocket. This is the greatest thing. So that's what happens. That's when, and honestly, we're looking for a situation. If someone's really holding out for retail, and I'll get these people. This is a good question, Robert. People will call me back and say, Jill, you're nuts. I know my property's worth 80,000. I'm like, all right, well, I'm willing to pay 20. And they're like, well, I'm only taking 80. I'm like, well, all right. I wish you all the best. I'm here right now. If anything changes, you know how I roll, let me know. And they're either going to hang on to it, right? Because they don't, and if they're in that situation, they probably don't want to sell. Maybe they're going to go get an agent and do it. They're definitely not going to do it themselves. So, and maybe they call me back, maybe they don't. But it's funny how many times that I've had people call me back and said, you know what? It's been 3 years now. Fill in the blank. I still not building on it. I'm not going to do anything with it. I know it's worth this, but nobody in the family wants it. I tried to sell it for 6 months. It didn't work. I'll take your 20. They don't, a lot of times they just want to be done with it. And that's really what we're looking for too, by the way. I didn't really talk about that little nugget is I'm looking for a situation. So these are awesome questions, you guys. Jake Bryant, what kind of research should be done before investing in a market? Like I just showed you. The trolling exercise I showed you at the beginning is your kind of high level, picking an area. Then you do the red, yellow, green test and get into it. Now you're making decisions about sending mail. That's what you do. It's those 2 steps. Does it take you 5 minutes or does it take you 2 hours? Probably not. It's going to be a little more than that. With my example earlier, you're going to spend one Sunday doing that high level stuff. And then the next time you sit down, you're going to spend a couple hours doing your red, yellow, green test. So, and getting in there. Good question, Ben. How long does it take these properties to sell? I was like, what's funny is I want them to sell in like 90 days. That's my goal. I want to price them where I'm getting a good price. I like 30, 90 days now. I'm like, all right, this is good. It's out there. It's got a lot of eyes on it. Fill in the blank. What happens is sometimes I've sold them too fast and I get in trouble with Jack. It's like, you didn't price it high enough. I'm like, I didn't know it was going to go. It's what everybody kind of thought it was going to happen. I didn't know it was going to fly off the shelves like that. So sometimes we sell them too fast. And sometimes there's properties that hang out in my inventory. I have some that now the snow's on the ground. You know what? Big deal. This happens. Beautiful property, snow's on the ground. It's Missouri and I'm hanging on to it till the spring. I'm not going to fire sell it. I don't have to. I paid cash for it. Come March, April, someone's going to love it. It's fine. Not my only property. I have so many in my inventory and you will too. That's the thing. You don't go through this, buy one. This is a good thing. You don't go through this whole process, buy one, wait for it to sell, and then do this again. Once you start this, you get into the flow and you keep these deals going through your system. And you never have downtime. That's how you win too. To whoever asked that question about being successful in that, keep it going. And I will happily be the bank, whoever wrote that in here. Let's try. Oh, Christopher's good. Now I'm trying to catching up on my stuff here. I use price for high level trolling. That's fine. You don't even need to pay for that. You can use this, but yeah. And then you do your own pricing analysis in your comps. See, there you go, Christopher. You're exactly right. That's how you want to do it. Okay. Hold on a moment. Let me open up all these questions here. You guys have good questions. Thank you for hanging with me, everyone. I really appreciate this. Brad. Hey, Brad. I realize this varies a lot. Let's see. I realize this varies a lot by deal. Can you give us a sense of what the typical profit margin is on a typical deal? Are the examples you gave just representative of typical deals? 100%. 100%. So, and whatever makes sense to you. There's a lot of people in Land Academy that do a lot of buy for 10,000, sell for 30,000. A lot. That's their sweet spot. They love them. It's easy. Who doesn't love getting a check for 10 grand? And it's very easy for people to write a check for $30,000. So they love those. So that's a good one. Some people start even lower than that. When you get into that spot, like you're comfortable buying for 10 and selling for 30, I'm going to come along after a while and really urge you to add a zero. That's one of my lines. I'm like, add a zero. Think about buying for 100 and selling for 300. Doing the same volume that you're doing right now. You're like, well, heck, I know what my bank balance would look like. Like, yeah, now go do that. So this is good. Hopefully that answers that question for you, Brad. Oh, hello, Steve Parker. Thank you very much. I love the comments. Will you tell us some of the, or am I on the right one? Some of the worst deals I've had. I have to think about this one, Bradley. Staying in my inventory. I've had some and I'm like, doggone it. It's just like the winter one. Like, I don't really want to keep it on my inventory that long, but I don't care. It's going to sell. That's fine. I'll tell you, you win when you buy it and you know it. Here's what happens. You know, when you're looking at this offer and it comes back to you and you pull it up and you're looking at it and you're staring at all those things, you're like, this can't be right. I'm staring at a signed purchase agreement from this person. And it's a sweet little old lady. You could even tell by her handwriting, it's like, she's happy, and this is true. And it's all wonderful. They're happy with this. By the way, so many people I buy property from, they lovingly say, thank you for taking this off my hands. I didn't know what I was going to do with this. And some of these smaller deals, by the way, agents don't want to work with. Brokers are not going to get excited about a commission. Think about this one. Would you get excited about a 6% commission on something that's selling for 20 grand? No, I can't blame them. So that's why, those bigger deals, there's a lot of great agents, and that's the pool I'm in. And I urge you to get into right away because it's perfect. But so deals that just took too long to sell, that's it. And I had one, trying to think if there, maybe two. I had two in the beginning when I started doing deal funding for people that I trusted the person that was giving me the deal a little too much. And they didn't actually make the best acquisition. I'm like, sure, that sounds great. Here's $20,000. And the next thing you know, a year goes by and they're throwing me the keys saying, I guess I screwed up. I'm sorry. I'm like, great, thanks. Now I'm stuck with it. So I didn't make what I wanted to make on it. Did I make money? Yes, but I didn't make what I thought I was going to make on it. But you know what? Who cares? That's okay. It's so that's fine. You learn. And the thing I'm going to give you guys at the end, you're going to learn, you'll have the steps to make sure when I talked about the 6 A's, that's what this is. So when you're new and you don't want to goof up, make sure it has all 6 A's. Don't mess with it. When you get into this and you know an area, you're like, you know what? I know that this will make up for this. I know this attribute is going to make up for the access being a little bit rough because it's a hunting property and these people want to go out there and get lost on it because it's 40 acres and look how great it is. Look how beautiful the trees are and all it is. So those are the attributes kind of thing. So you guys are awesome. So I have a hard time with that. I'm so picky now, Bradley. I got to tell you, Jack asked me that. Jack put me on the spot earlier today about screwing up on a deal. And I'm like, I was lucky because I had him. He taught me. And then I have the girl intuition. So I trust my gut. If I'm on the fence about it, I do 2 things. One is I priced it so low. I said, look, I know we all agreed on $32,000. It has this problem, and this problem. But I still like the property, and I'll say 32 is now 20. So if that works for you, I just give them a number that it really does work for me. So if we joke about it in Land Academy, just try to kill your own deal. Then I'm going to give them a number that I really feel good about it. So then if I even screwed up, I'm going to be fine. So that's what I will do. Give them this crazy number. All right. Two quick notes. We have now 9 people. Did I say no? 10. I said 10 is okay, good. I'm like, what was my consulting number? So we're almost at my 10. So I'm going to still answer these questions. So it's not too late. Yep, Sunny. Yep, try to kill your own deal. Thank you for laughing. That's what we do. You give them a number, Sunny. Now I can catch up with the bottom of the chat here. But you give them a number that's so low, they're like I said, you better be ready because they're going to probably say yes. So then you're going to like, well, now I have to buy it. That's the number. If this guy says yes to this number, I have to buy it. That's what you want to do. So this is great. Oh, hey, anybody who's still on the fence at this point and you're live with us and you're like, I don't know, throw your question in here and I'm here to help you. So, well, I know there's members in here that can give you real world stories. Don't just listen to me. Please, I encourage you, reach out to the people in here that are in Land Academy. You can reach them on Land Investors on our community there and ask them some of those questions. And they'll tell you, you can say, I hate this. I never use this phrase because sometimes it gets abused, but I know people's lives are being changed here in Land Academy. And so, but ask them and they will tell you. We used to have a thing called the Quitters Club. And we still call it that when somebody says, I finally quit my job. I'm like, oh, that's great. Welcome to the Quitters Club. So we'll talk about that another time. So, and Gia, I will get to that. Okay. Because there's another question on that. So here's the deal. The only reason we have a membership fee is because of this. When we launched Land Academy, it was only the education. That's it. Nothing it. Our program, here you go. Here's our business model. Knock yourselves out kind of thing. Then people said, well, we need to communicate with you. I'm like, okay, we have questions. Okay, no problem. So we made an online community. And that is what is still going now as landinvestors.com, where you can go in and there's forums, you can ask questions, there's a lot of activity in there. There's a free version and then there's a back end version where the members are and stuff. So Jimmy, so sweet. So So that was land investors. The next thing people said was, okay, hold on a moment. I need the data. We're going to get the data like you can and send out these offers. Like, oh, well, and I was sharing with everybody, okay, here's what I do. I use RealQuest for this. I use this for this. I use that for this, and I use this for this. And they're like, oh my gosh. Well, okay, RealQuest. Well, that's great. So, but how much is that? And it was like pushing $500 to get like the nationwide access back then. I don't even know what the price was per record. I don't even remember, because I've seen upwards of 60 cents a record to download the ownership data, which is still not nuts. But anyway, so every single person was going out and getting their own subscriptions to the things they could. Some of them they couldn't even get, like Title Pro 24/7, because it's meant for title agents. We just kind of snuck in there because who we are in our relationship with these vendors with Black Knight. They gave it to us. So anyway, it got too expensive for everybody to go and one-off get these deals. It was getting over $1,000 for people to go, great, I got this mapping service. That's costing me this much money. Title Pro is costing they couldn't even get Title Pro. Back then it was Agent Pro. Data Tree wasn't even around. We were using RealQuest back then. Anyway, the point of the membership is when we had enough members that I could go and negotiate a better rate and become a licensed provider to make it cheaper for you, we did. So that's what I did. So when you add up, if you look at what's included in that and you go off and try to recreate that outside of Land Academy, call Data Tree, call all those things, see how much it costs, see how much it is to get the records and all that stuff. You'll go, never mind, $295 is cheap. So that's what that is. It's so you really can. And like I said, like Title Pro is one of those tools that you need to be a title agent to get your hands on. There's stuff in there that is used for title agents that we have access to, even in Data Tree, lien reports. It's pretty scary when you get there, when you see, like, I'm staring at my own mortgage documents, like, wow, we have access to a lot of stuff. Yeah, we do. We know a lot what's going on. So that's why we do so well. So that's all I have to say. Go separately price all the tools, and then you'll go, thank you, Jill, for not charging $500 a month. Because you could. I'm like, yeah, even $500 would be cheap. So anyway, that's what that is. And you know what? You can't do this without that stuff. You cannot do this without real good data. And even if you go to the county, by the time you do one county, it might charge $300. These guys don't give this away for free. And it takes days or weeks for them to pull this stuff to get it to you. And hopefully you get the data that you asked for. And by the way, what format am I going to get it in? Some of them, I don't even know if they do. They used to give it to us DVDs, and you download this really gook, and you'd have to get a VA to decipher it for you. It was a mess. So that's what this that's what it is. So I think I answered that. But I'm happy to answer more if you want to ask any more questions about that. But yeah, then we threw in like Discord, and we threw in special pricing for mail. Oh, you know what? I'll tell you this too. If you send out more than 7,500 units a month in mail through offers to owners, your savings is more than that $295 a month membership fee. So that one thing right there pays for it. So I promise it's cheap. And we talk about raising it, but we haven't. I don't know. So anyway, you're good. All right, let's see. Patricia Robb, so it sounds definitely like it needs to be a situation where you double your money then, right? Yeah, it was on land deals I do. And you know what, Patricia, I'm not messing around right now. I'm getting pickier. I'm buying better property at cheaper prices, and people want to sell. So the deals are out there. You just send the mail. Any good? Hello, Amol. Is it a good idea to buy? Here we go. Is it a good idea to buy raw land? Oh, this is a great question. Buy raw land, rezone it, and then sell it. Do you help or know how you can help in rezoning process? This just came up today within our community. Do I do this? Heck no. Do you know how long sometimes this takes? You know how difficult sometimes this takes Do you know what's involved in this? I'm not doing it. That's not the business I'm in. I'm in the business of buying undervalued property that's worth more right now, today, in its current condition, period. That's it. And I will send out more mail. I'm not going to waste that, do that. Have I gone down many of other paths? Yes. Have I split property? Yes. Have I done all kinds of other things? Yes. Have I put in a road? No. Am I going to put in a road? No. And these are all different discussions that we have, again, inside our community. And it's not to say that other people have not, but I'm not doing that. Because you know why? I'm not going to wait that long. And sometimes I'm not sure, I don't really have it needed. I have an example where I thought I had access. Here, I'm going to give you a good example. Everyone here. I bought a property. There's this, where you go down this road, here's my property, and behind it's a cemetery, right? We're on this road. I'm like, well, I clearly see the physical access and there's a cemetery back there. This has to be legal access. Guess what? It wasn't. I'm like, who knew? I'm like, all right, great. And it's listed with the broker already at this point. And we realized we don't have legal access. I'm like, well, this stinks. I'm like, oh, give me a minute. So I myself went into our resources. I drew a circle around the property. I downloaded my neighbor's information. I quickly typed up a nice neighbor letter, include a little map where I highlighted my property, your property, said, hey, I'm Jill, I'm next door, theoretically. And I'm working on selling the property. So I'm reaching out to you. A, do you want to buy it? Because it's for sale. Because I'm giving you first chance here. That often sells it right there with a neighbor letter. And B, I'm trying to get access. Would you be willing to work? Can we work out something with access? Sure enough, somebody called me back and said, they didn't actually, not one of them bought it, but one of them said, I'll give you access. Do I still go get the access? Nope, I did not do that. And again, I had a broker working with me on this. As soon as I had that email, I sent it to my broker and said, we have access now. I'm not going to go do it. And my broker already knew that it takes about, he said, in this county, it's taken about 90 days and about $2,000, right? Kind of thing to get it done. So that's all that was needed. So when we sold the property, we just put that in the listing, and so potential buyers, if they wanted to or needed to, could go that far, and they had all the information. So even with zoning, who knows what people want? I don't want to mess with them. Maybe I'll find out. You know what I would do, Amal? The most I would do is find out from the county, and that's a good thing. Find out, hey, there's a possibility this commercial property can be rezoned for fill in the blank. It's easier to zone down than it is to zone up. I do know that. So commercial down to residential. So, hey, it could be rezoned for this. Here's the county information. I talked to so-and-so. It usually takes, if approved, it takes this much time. And if approved, it costs $500. I don't know, whatever it is. I would put that in my posting. That's the most that I would do. Hello, Anonymous. How does Land Academy's program differ in training versus other programs? Oh my goodness, I love this all. Okay. Thank you for bringing this up. So the question is, how does our program differ in training versus other programs like Joe McCall, Land MBA, RE Tipster, Seth? I love Seth. Are they all the same? Are there more details and focus in certain ways? Remember when I told you how long we've been in this business? Now think about that, first of all. Think about how long Land Academy's been around compared to other people. Now we got that out of the way. So, and think about, sometimes you may see similarities, and these guys maybe didn't even start out sending direct mail, but maybe they are now sending direct mail with offers on it, like Land Academy is doing since day one, since the 90s. Let's go back to that. So pretty much everybody in our community, I'm being very truthful and honest here, and I'm not going to poo-poo anybody because I have a healthy respect for everybody's way of doing things. But the truth is, other than Jack and Michelle Bosch, who I really have a great respect for, they I can't remember what the name of Jack's program is, but anyway, they are like us, like dreamt this up from scratch on their own. But everyone that you've listed here has been in Land Academy. So that they are a byproduct of our community. And if you go digging through my podcasts, especially like Seth, you'll see Seth sitting in our kitchen. I have pictures of Seth in our kitchen and stuff, and at the beach on podcasts and things with Seth. That anyway, we are the originals and we have the most experience and the most deals. So that's just what I'm going to say. But I'm a fan of all education. I don't think there's such a thing as too much education. Like I said, I'm never going to poo-poo anybody. I want you to go out and get as much as you can. If you come from we have a lot of people that come from other programs too, that have said, I did this, it's great, but I knew there was more. I need help with this. And they come to us because I think is where we pick off where some people, we pick up where some people leave off. Like, we'll take it to the end, man. We'll take you to making this a business and an empire if you want to, because that's who we are and what we've done and how we look at things. I'm not here. This is not a hobby. This is not a $99 a month thing. We're here to help you really make a difference. So hope that answers that question. Hello, Anonymous. How much are the tools and subscriptions per month on top of this offer? So only thing you have to think about paying for is data and mail. That's it. And that's a la carte, right? You only pay for data when you download it. It's 10 cents a record. And then, like I said, I've seen it upwards of 60 something cents before. I'm like, shucks. But to get your hands on it, I mean, if you didn't have us, that I would do that. I would have done that, back in the day. It's better. So anyway, it's down to 10 cents. And then mail, what is it, like 53, 55? I don't know. But my team has a promo going on right now between now and the end of the month. Check out offers-to-owners.com. Look at the member pricing, and that's what you would pay. And that's what you do with the mail. You send them, you could do just this. Here's my spreadsheet formatted the way you want it. Here's my letter template. And then they'll do the mail merge, send it back to you to eyeball, make sure it's great. And then it goes in the mail. You do it all. So don't go the path. Do not lick envelopes. That is definitely something you should not be doing. Hello, Ben. Are software included in this program, in this offer? Yep. See, we have data tree. I'll pull that slide back up if you guys want. I'll put it real quick here. Oh, please. This was an hour ago though. Ben's probably long gone by now, but but yeah, software's included pretty much with your membership, kind of everything you need to do this is there. And that's why we set it up that way. And stuff that, like I said, stuff that we're using, stuff the pros using. That's what I want you to have. What do you already have a data tree subscription? Oh, you're not nuts, Patricia. We have lots of people that do that. See when it's winding down. So that happened when we came up with this. We're like, okay, we're now licensed providers of all this stuff. So I can get it to you cheaper. So everybody had to go, great. I'm going to, have to undo my other things. So yeah, just check with them and see when your contract's up. I wish I could get you out of that, but that I can't. But when your contract's up, you'll know that you have it over here. And see what you're spending a record and pull data, whichever's the cheaper way. Good question. Gia said, does a $295 a month include software and CRM and is support from Facebook group with their weekly calls? Your support, well, we have Facebook groups included, weekly calls, yes. Discord, yes. The back end of the Land Investors website, private close stuff, yes. There's lots of stuff here that's included in that. You know what? I don't at this point, because back in the day, well, I use Airtable, and I've reached out to Airtable to try to get a subscription thing that I could share with everybody. And it wasn't cost effective, if that's the right term. I haven't done it again in a while, but I will. So right now it doesn't, but there are free versions of Airtable that you can use. Heck, when you're just getting started, do what we did. I used Excel for a while, but when you get going, you're going to need something more robust. And that's one of the things, that's actually, honestly, Gia, that's one of the things in 2023 that we're working on. We have a product called Business in a Box that we're working on, and that's going to be in there. So sit tight. But in the meantime, use Airtable for free. or Jura or some, there's all kinds of other good things out there. So yeah, so the monthly maintenance fee doesn't seem so cheap. It does when you try to go get the stuff by yourself. Is there some kind of money back guarantee or refund? Yes, there is. Actually, I feel really good about what we do. I feel great about what we do, I should say. So yeah, there's a 30-day money back guarantee. So if you get into this and go, oh, this is not for me, I had no idea this much was involved, fill in the blank, I don't get it. This doesn't sing to me like I thought it would. I don't know. So whatever reason, you do have a 30-day guarantee. So I do that. So does it happen often? Not really. You know why? Because I do stuff like this. I'll tell you, it doesn't happen very often because I do stuff like this, and my team and I try to make ourselves really, really, really available and accessible, and let you get on our live member calls and things and get into it yourself to get a feel for it. Because I want you to know what you're getting into it before you get into it. I really want you to do research. I don't want people coming in here and going, explain to me this land thing. This is not a good fit for that. I want you to come here when you've been doing a lot of research, you've been following us, you understand what's going on, and we're like, now is the time, and we'll get you there. So, we have our 10. Thank you. Well, who can you give me the names of the 10 again? Can you write it down? I love this. Oh, will you add them? I write them down for me. Oh, okay. Thank you. Okay. Yay. Hello, Joseph Dugan. Can't find the area to do the promo code. Okay. Did we get that covered? I think we did, because that was a while back. Okay, good. Does the offer come back signed? Okay, if the offer comes back signed and you don't buy it, this is a good question, Donna. I hope Donna's still on this call. If the offer comes back signed and you don't buy it for some reason, which does happen a lot. I told you I'm getting real picky, man. I'm telling you, more than 75% or around 75%. I'm like, not doing it. Maybe it came back, maybe too many came back signed. Can one get sued? No, because you know why? When you look at the offer that we send out, there's like 5 different contingency things on there that I can back out. Taxes are too high. Doesn't meet my acquisition criteria, which, right? Could be anything. So I can not do the deal for 5 reasons that are listed on that, and no one's getting sued. I have 16,000 transactions under my deal, and I've never been sued. So you are fine. So it's not binding kind of thing, with all those exceptions. People might say things, but you are fine. Sometimes people know, you know what, Donna, when you get into this too, and you're going to learn, this business is data and this business is art. Jack is data. I bring the art. I've told Jack from day one, since we combined everything and I came into this business, I said, your number one job is to make my phone ring, whether it's on the buy side or the sell side, I told him. And he does. And once they're on the phone with me, now I get to handle the conversation. Once you pick up the phone, when these people call you back, they're going to call you back mad because they're getting an offer for this often. Yeah. That's when you know the mail hit and you know you priced it right. So they're calling me back mad, but now I get to have a conversation with them. I get it. I understand. Maybe I goofed. Maybe I didn't. I never say I did, but let's talk about it. The big picture is, do you really want to sell? Well, yeah, but not at fill in the blank price. Okay, got it. So what is your number? Let's talk about it. All of that goes away. when you get in and you listen, and I'll help you and I'll show you, how to do this and communicate with these sellers, and you start having these conversations with these sellers, you know, when you say it doesn't work for me because it doesn't have access and this, they're going to say, I get it, kind of thing, or careful. What will happen, Donna, what happens to me is they like you and they're like, well, what would you pay? And like, there's times I have a lot of properties where like, I really don't want it. They're, I'm trying to kill my own deal. I don't even want it for any price. And that's a tough conversation to have, but I have to say, I'm sorry, but it just doesn't work for me at all. So, but that's a good one. You can get out of those, no problem. So yes. And Donna said, does a $295 a month, a 12 commit? Yes, because my contract, remember, I'm a licensed provider of the data tools and some of these tools, mainly Title Pro and Data Tree. My contract is an annual. So that's why it's kind of the same for you, kind of thing. So that's what that is. Careful. You're going to get in. If you join Land Academy, and like a lot of people here, and follow along, things going like you follow what we say. Let me help you. You got to reach out. You have problems. You've got to reach out to us. We're here. I'll tell you too. I have a guy right now. I've been trying to get on the phone and he's having scrabble. And I'm like, I'm trying to make myself personally available to this guy and he's not returning my call. And I'm like, I can't help you now. So you got to let me know if you're struggling. You got to reach out and let us know. So if you do those things, you're going to come up in 3 years from now and be staring at this bank balance going, what just happened, in a really good way. So you'll get there. Oh, Joseph said, thanks, done. So, all right. Yep. Here you are, Joseph. So we've got David, Ryan, Brad, Charles, Bryce, Alejandro, David J, Joseph, Rex, and Roshan. Welcome to Land Academy. You guys got to be on the next call. Don't forget, next Thursday, we are going to do something awesome. Oh, well, you guys are going to be talking to me personally anyway, so we'll get to know each other. Was the same on the Thursday call, but please try if you can get on the member call on Thursday. Let me warn you right now too. We have a lot of tools and a lot of resources, so don't get overwhelmed. Your email tomorrow will start blowing up as things get turned on. You've been added to this. Here's your data tree access. Here's your Discord access. Here's your this, here's your that. You're gonna be like, what the heck? There's a lot. I promise we'll get you there. When you go on the website, follow the new member guide and reach out to my team and they will help you. And in a couple weeks, someone on my team too is going to call you and check on you and make sure you're finding everything, what all the tools and the resources are and all that. So is good. So, and anything you need, that's why I started to say earlier and I got distracted by myself, which is everything that we've done, direct mail and the stuff, because you needed it, you asked for it. So we provide it. So you guys are asking for CRM. All right, I'm going to try to work on that. You asked us for help with phone calls and stuff. So I started to do it in-house and I realized I wasn't as effective as Pat Live, but I can get the best discount I can give. Pat, I'll tell you right now, Pat Live will give up to 20% to people who want to, like us, like my size. And they're like, look, we can give your members 10% off and then you get a 10% kickback, 5%, 15, whatever you want to do. I'm like, I don't want a penny. I want my Land Academy people to get the whole 20%. I don't get $1. It all goes to you. I'm going to try to give you everything. I'm doing just fine. I want to help you so that you need to do this. So, okay. Future Peptides says, what are the costs for sending out a 10,000 piece mailer all inclusive? So like $5,000 roughly, because you're spending, by the time you do the data, 10 cents a record, right? And then the mail. So $5,000 to $6,000 to send that out. I love this. If you send out 10,000 units a month, oh, you're buying some property. And look at my numbers. This is a common conversation that we have in Land Academy and going on in Discord. You're not even going to think about it when you're doing these deals. You're sending out 10,000 pieces. You're buying deals. You're setting your numbers like, if I'm not making 30,000 a deal, I'm not doing it. Right. So you're going to say, let's just say you get only 3 deals. This is low. I'm being very conservative. You sent out 10,000 units. You spent $5,000 to $6,000. You're buying 3 deals, but you're only buying 3 deals that you're going to make no less than 30 grand a deal. So you made $90,000. Okay, I just made $90,000 in 3 deals. Do I really flip and care that it cost me 6 grand to do that? Nope, you're going to do it again. That's awesome. And those are all real numbers that are going on right now. Hi, Charles. I currently owner finance 2 pieces of property. I've done great. How do you guys feel about owner financing? Charles, been there, done that. And it just got to be a lot of work. People say it's passive income. Is it really passive income when the guy calls me every 6 months to move his date, or he misses a payment, or, fill in the blank? I've had a healthy balance. Like Charles, who you are now in Land Academy. Oh, by the way, too, those of you who just joined Land Academy, you all start on the newest version. Go to 3.0. Think like Windows. You don't go to Windows 1 now and work your way up to Windows, whatever we're on, 10, 12, I don't even know. You start with the most current one. So I want you to start with Land Academy 3.0. But when you're really bored and you can't fall asleep, go back to the old one, go back to cash flow from land program, because we were doing terms deals and quite a few at that point. And I just got so tired of it because it's just a lot of work, managing these people. And what the sad thing is too, is people are making payments and something happens in their lives and they can't afford to make payments. I'd always call them and try to help them out. I'm like, okay, let's just get you back on track. We'll tack it on the end. I don't care. But sometimes they would go dark, like they're afraid I'm going to go collect on them. And I don't want to do that. I'm not going to do that. I'm like, shucks, now I got to sell the property again. It was just so much hand holding and work so that was one thing. And then 2, by the time I make my money back, think about this too, even though I'm selling it for more money in the end on terms, right? In a perfect world, they all pay and they complete it in 5 years, whatever it is. It took me 5 years to get that money. I had that money in 5 weeks. I doubled my money or less. And then I did it again and again and again. You do a couple of those, you're like, no, I'm not waiting for term stuff. I like doing this stuff better. But good question. I like that. Hang on to them. See what happens. Yeah. So it's half off the education program. The tools and that stuff like that is separate. They're like, Jill, your math is wrong on the half off. It's not half off the whole thing. I hear you. It's half off the education piece, which is right now $2,400. It will not be that in 2023. I can promise you that. So it's half off of that, and then the membership piece. So cool. But good question. Anonymous, I have a website about land properties in Arkansas, and I want to ask how I could promote it. I've tried calling people interested in my Facebook posts. I think I should try online mail or Zoom meetings with information, since I have Latin America demographic, maybe website land. Do you guys have a website for online land shopping? Sure. I'm Land Stay and I'm Land Pin. Land Pin is a website that is for only Land Academy members. You could post your own properties on there too. So it's another place that we provide that gets some good traffic for you to put their properties on there. Which ones you recommend? And more importantly, what would you recommend in my case? Oh, this is good. This is one of the things that we teach in Land Academy. And this is because this was a failure for us a long time ago. This is pre-me, and Jack will tell you more about it. But back in the day, when he was really getting into this, is when eBay came along. And Jack was the number 1 person in the real estate space on eBay. There was $20 to $30 million of properties at low volume. I'm talking inexpensive property that they were selling on auctions that closed every hour on eBay. It was a massive operation and it was phenomenal. Jack got to go to San Francisco every year and meet Meg Whitman. She was leading it back then. He was the number one real estate guy. So what happened was this downturn came and all of a sudden people stopped bidding. And the problem was where we almost sunk the ship, but we didn't, because we had all this property that we paid for, right? But it was our only sales outlet. And that was it. There was a single point of failure. You cannot do that. So that's what we teach you in Land Academy. And that's where we're always staying ahead of these things. Like, I swear that's why a lot of people are with us, because we've made all these mistakes. I'm going to save you. You can't have a single point of failure. You have to get it out there on the planet. You may have the most beautiful property and price great, but if you can't reach the people, they're not going to buy it. You need to get it on everywhere. So one of the things that I do, if I'm listing it for myself, I get it on not only your website, every single darn social media thing you can think of. I don't care. Put it on TikTok. Seriously. And Facebook groups everywhere. That's going to be, what if it's a hunting property? You better be in all the hunting things. But use a company like Broker Direct, MLS.com. I love them. And when you go research the site, you pay them anywhere from $99 to $300. I don't know. They always have promotions too. And it puts it on the MLS for that area. And then it automatically feeds it to like Zillow, Trulia. It feeds it to like 100 other places, 100 other feeds automatically to get more eyes on it. So it's a couple $100. So that's what you do to get your property out there. You guys are learning a lot about us on this one thing. So cool. Hello, Gia. Are websites needed? If so, are they included in the software? Can you give more info about beauty and the software? So, you know what's funny about this, Gia? I'm assuming you mean like your own selling website. So I do think that, yes, having a landing page website for when sellers get your offer, so they can Google you and Google your website, see your company and see you with your dog there, you know, in a forest, whatever. Yes, they're land people kind of thing. And they're real. They're a real person. This is not just whatever thing. That says a lot to do that. Do I personally, and make sure too, this is stuff that goes in landing. This is actually in the program. In our program, we talk about website, your social media, updating your LinkedIn, everything that says you're whatever, even if you have a day job, you're also a land investor on the side. Get that in there. So it just leads credibility. Do I sell most of my property on my website? Not anymore, because I'm using brokers. I've gotten lazier, and it's easier and it's faster, and I'm doing more deals because I'm not personally posting my property, and it's better. But you can go this direction or this direction, and we talk about it all, and we'll help you. Regarding competition. So if it's best to work in areas where there's competition, if it is best to work in areas where there is competition or deal flow, wouldn't this be difficult for a beginner like myself? Not very confident and not great at speaking on the phone with angry owners and no experience dealing with closing and legal issues. I can help you with all of this. I would imagine that competition is mostly composed of veterans who have a lot of experience pricing and more aggressive than myself. No, don't worry about that. So, okay, great. I'm new and I'm not good at speaking on the phone. No problem. Use a company like Pat Live. And they'll answer your phones. They'll collect all the information for you, and it's in a report for you to review the deals. And at this point now, there's nobody mad. Nobody's upset. You're only looking at the things that came in, the people that were interested and wanted to sell. And then they took the brunt of it. This is what I really want. And that's the way it should be. Do I answer the phone anymore? No. I mean, sometimes because I want to. I don't have to. In the beginning, I did. Oh, it was me, man. And so I know what that's like. And sometimes now I do, because if I'm going into a new area, sometimes I want to catch some of the calls in the beginning, because I learn a lot about the area, about what's really going on and how well we did on our mailer kind of things. So don't worry about that. But when you're calling back now, it's a whole different ballgame. Hi, hi, my name is Anne. And well, hi, my name is Jill. Hi, my name is Jill. I got the message that you got my offer and you are happy. Great. So here's what we're going to do. It's a whole different ballgame. Maybe they weren't happy, but they weren't happy with your price, but they want to talk to you because they do want to sell at a different price. Great. Hi, this is Jill. I got your, hey, I'm Jill with Landstay. That's my land company. I'm Jill with Landstay. How are you? Great. Thank you. All right. I got it. You didn't like my offer for 20. This is very common too. $22,000 for the property. I got it. So, well, you do want to sell. Okay. Got it. Can you tell me more about it? Get through that, right? By the way, making sure you're going to learn on the free thing I'm giving in a minute. I got to get to that. Sorry. But, you'll have these conversations anyway, and you're going to say, what price does make sense to you? You know how I roll. This is what it is. And they're going to go, you know what? 25. Well, shoot, you and I both know if you price it at 22, 25 is probably going to work because it's worth 70, kind of thing. And then that's when you go, all right, I can make 25 work. Or maybe you have to do more research. You say, whatever it is. So you will get confident. And that's part of Land Academy. Knowing the property well, knowing the process, which we will teach you, will give you the confidence and you'll be fine. And by the way, trust me, no matter what, your very first phone call, you already know more. Everything you went to in the education and learning about this, pricing it, getting to know everything, you already know more than that seller on the phone. They don't know. This is your business. You're going to put a lot into this. So you will be good. And by the way, you'll have a checklist that you get in Land Academy that you're going to have sitting on your desk that I tell you to print out. So when they call, you know what to ask them. You already sound like a pro. You have all the questions right there that you're asking them in there. So don't worry about that. Tell us about your worst deal. I don't really have one right now. I think we're going to have to get to that. I'm going to try to, we're going on 2.5 hours. Oh my God. Oh, you guys are awesome. So I'll have to get to that on another one. So I'm going to try to pick out the good ones here. Thank you, Chris. You guys are awesome. Let's see here. Half off. You guys got the link back in here. Is it easier to buy land to construct on? Wait, is it easier to buy land, construct on it than buying a house? If so, you must need a construction permission, right? Oh, that's a whole different ballgame. I wouldn't do that. I mean, you're going to hire somebody if you're going to do something. You know what I would, here's when I would do this for my own personal property. And some people in Land Academy do that. So you're not nuts. There are many people that have joined Land Academy. You're like, I'm not here to do anything but buy my own personal house cheaper, buy my own cabin property cheap, buy my own fill in the blank cheap. I've realized what you guys are doing over here, and I just need to know how to buy it for my own personal use. There's nothing wrong with that. So there you go. Do we coach on owner financing deals? It's in, that's what I kind of covered that in the first program. So when you get into the cash flow from land program, it's 100% in there. And we could talk about, there's plenty of people in Land Academy that are doing it right now today. So my accounting tools, if you will, are outdated compared to what they're using right now. And all you have to do, here's all you do. Hi, who in here is seller financing, and what are you guys using to keep track of it for the money part, to get the credit card payments? And we'll pop in 1 hour, you'll have 5 answers. So that's the power of our community too. So that's what you do. I'm definitely interested in doing cash deals to start out in building my income, but are you not finding that owner financing is not good for passive income? I mean, it is. It's really personal preference. There's a lot of people that love it. Like I said, Inland Academy doing it is not my thing. I don't have the patience for it. And I don't really want to have a customer service team to manage my payment people. So that's kind of it. Maybe better invest the cash into EFTs or low cost SP fund. No, put your cash in more property. If you got some time, put your cash in more property. I mean, sure, there's lots of good tax things. That's Jack topics. That's he's the accounting degree. That's his thing. So, but these are good questions. Do I do follow-up? No, I don't really chase these people, Grant. That's a good question. Kind of like the conversation, they're either in or they're not. I don't chase people on deals. I wish them well. If the number doesn't, what I do always do though, all right, I get it. This is real. I love this one. This is totally real. This was a couple years ago. This guy, his bottom number was 10,000. My bottom number was 1,000. We went back and forth on that a bit. 10,000. I'm like 1,000. That's all I'm going to pay. Did not like my 1,000. 30 days later, he took my 1,000. I just wished him well. I just said, look, I'm sorry. I'm not budging off 1,000. That's it. That's all I can do. And if it works, great. If it doesn't work, I wish you all the best. Hang on to my number. If something changes, let me know. I'll be here. And he came back. So I don't need to chase people. There's too much mail going on. Hey, in this chat right now, we're talking about sending 10,000 units out, which is awesome. And that's how you really win. That's called making an empire out of this. So, and we'll help you. Robert, how much cash is needed to start? Is Robert in our, no, Robert's not in here yet, but he's asking great questions. Here. How much cash does need to start? Mailing and all that stuff. Ramp up money. Mail. You know what? I want you to have, Robert, I really want you to have 10 grand. If you have 10 grand right now set aside, I know you could afford the education. I know you could afford the access to everything, the monthly stuff. I know you could afford to send out a couple thousand units of mail. That's what I want you to have. Don't worry about buying the property. If you have more than 10 grand, that's even better because then you can really hit it. But 10 grand's kind of my bottom. Then I know you're not going to sweat it. So, and then you do a couple deals, 10 grand, do a couple deals. You and I do a couple deals. Now you're staring at 30 grand. And now you're like, all right, now I can really relax here and do some other stuff. And then maybe I use Jill's money. Maybe I don't, kind of thing. Okay. Hello, David. Can you touch on perk or no perk on site and how much? This is all good stuff that we talk about. I'm gonna kind of skip through these because these are things that we talk about in Land Academy and you'll find out more. So I don't do these tests. It's not needed. I didn't buy it with a perk test. So, I can't tell you how many times I've had people go out, like maybe on the certain properties as I'm selling, maybe it's a commercial property or something special going on, very little, that less than 1% of the time am I doing something like this. But if I am, I'm telling my people, it's 20 acres. I need you to walk till it perks. And they usually can find its place. It's hilarious. So what's the success rate of students in Land Academy? This is good. You know what? Just like those of you that are still here after 2.5 hours, you're in it and you're committed. And you're here listening and asking good questions and you're paying attention. That's Land Academy. We are not people that, oh, it was this, or I was going to do an online dropship t-shirt company. That's not our people. I know we do. We do a good job especially because holding things like this where you can ask me these questions, of good job of, I don't pressure people. If you've talked to my staff on the phone and you say, hey, I want to ask you some questions, they go, there anything? Okay, thank you. Nobody's going to say, you need to check out now or don't forget. That's not how we roll. That's not my company. I'm here looking for serious investors who want to work with us, who want to be part of this community and want to help this grow and do awesome deals. If you don't, that's fine. Just like my sellers, I wish you all the best. So I don't want the Land Academy 5,000. I like the Land Academy 500. We are a mighty, amazing, successful group, and we don't hard sell anybody. That's not what this is. So what's my success rate? It's pretty darn high. It's when you get in and that would be the first question I might ask. Who in here has been here over a year and watch all the hands go up and the people and how much have you made and what kind of deals are you doing? It blows me away every week. So, Ben, hi Ben, I'm still here absorbing all this. Thank you very much. And Donna, yes. Okay, good. You guys are so sweet. All right. Okay, a few more minutes. I'm gonna let everybody go. I'm getting hungry too. All right. Future peptides. What's the cost of mailings? I think we kind of covered that. I think we answered that. So I'm gonna go past that. Ongoing fee. It is monthly. So remember the $295 is way cheaper than if you went out and tried it. I haven't done that in a while. I should have my team. We'll have asked them to make a chart showing here's what this would cost in the real world. Here's what this would cost in the real world. And here's what this would cost in the real world. And you'll go, never noted. If I'm Canadian and I want to do deals in Canada, I will need tools, I guess. Yeah. Can I get membership without US tools? It's hard to do this in it's hard to do this in Canada because you can't get the assessor data like we can. So I'm gonna say the best thing you can do, like all our other international members of Land Academy, they are in their country buying US property. That's the best and the easiest and the fastest way to do this. So, can I transfer my membership to my family member? Sure. Just give me your login for me. If you get, this is kind of funny. We had a guy, in our group who bought this for his wife years ago. And he's like, she wanted to stay home with the kids. He bought Land Academy so she could do this for something on the side to stay home with the kids. A couple months later, he lost his job. Now he's in Land Academy. So he just logged in as her. So that's all you do. Oh, Robert's like, okay, done. I'm in. Okay. Good. I am glad. You're so welcome. Thank you for this detailed presentation. Much appreciated. You are very welcome. This is how we roll. This is our Thursday call, by the way. I'm going to talk to you just like this. I'm going to be very honest. I'm going to be really honest. If I don't like a deal, I'm going to tell you this deal kind of stinks. I wouldn't do it. Or I'm going to tell you, you need to hang up right now, get off the phone with us and off this call, and you need to go buy this before this guy changes his mind. We're going to talk to you just like that. I'm going to make sure you are successful. And thank you for saying that. Hello, Sunny. Do we have access to the programs while we are members? Is that a lifetime access? It's while, you can't like bootleg my stuff, but there's stuff that you can, there's print material and things that you can download and have and save and use and stuff. But the dashboard to get in and use everything is while you're a paying member kind of thing. It does, when you not a paying member, it does shut down. So because I roll in new programs and things like that, I need you to be an active paying member when I launch Land Academy 4.0 or fill in the blank. Who knows what we come up with? Maybe there's a mobile home play. We keep going back and forth with that. There might be, right now we do it in Career Path where we really talk about mobile homes, and I could go on for another hour and I won't hear on that, but that's other good things that we're doing. So cool. If not owner financing, what do you recommend? Cash, baby. Not really cash. Oh, you know what? Here, let me back up with this too. Cash to me is not what my buyer's doing. My buyer might be getting financing. This is one of the great things that's changed over the last couple of years. I can't tell you how many times I'm looking at closing documents. I'm like, this guy got a loan from Wells Fargo. This is the greatest thing ever. 10 years ago, it was hard to get a bank to lend on rural vacant land. They didn't see it. They needed some improvement on it. They didn't understand it. That's changing now. It's awesome. I'm seeing that. There's companies like Rural First. So I tell people too, they don't have the money, my buyers. I said, you know what? Please go talk to your bank or look up Rural First, and they can often get the financing to buy your property. So you're getting the cash kind of thing. So you don't even have to think about that. If I have land full with trees, can I make an interchange with a wood come? Oh, sure. Oh yeah, timber. Oh, we just did this today. This came up today on our call. We were looking at a property that had been timbered, where they came out, they already sold it for the timber. It had already been, you could see it from our map views too, just kind of see, especially next to the property next to it, which hadn't been timbered, but sure. Do we do that? No. Do I buy it before and after that process? Sure. So yeah, all kinds of stuff that we talk about. Do I teach on how to use tools like MapRight? You could ask people, and there's plenty of people in Land Academy using MapRight. I use ours, which is Parcel Fact. But do we teach on how to use offers to owners and data tree? Yeah, that's the beautiful thing too. The education is not like, here it is, go do it. No, it's watch me do this. Here's what I look for. Here's how I watch me click here. Here's where I'm getting that data to input into this cell. You know, that's Jack's part of it, right? And then my part of it is, here's how I talk to these sellers, and here's what I do in this situation, and here's what I do in that situation. So the beginning of the program is kind of Jack's content. And then when it gets to the second half of the program, it's my contacts. Like the minute when the stuff goes out in the mail, Jack's out pretty much. Then it's me. Now I'm with the calls and the sellers and the buyers and getting the agents and the escrow and all that stuff. All that's on my side of the sheet. So, and I help you with, and there's examples, real examples, and we talk about it. And it's never ending. I'm always here. So we provide lists of good agents and title companies and accountants in the counties. Yes. I'm concerned about income and property taxes in counties out of my state. If you're already worried about property taxes, I thought you're worried about your own taxes. I'm like, are you already worried about how much money you're going to make in paying taxes? And then you're going to do great. So, okay. About income and property taxes in counties out of my state, don't even worry about it. We'll cover that. Don't even think about it. Do not even think about it. I don't know good attorneys. We'll cover that. Not sure if I need an LLC. We will cover that. What are the major leaguers of doing deals and taxes? We cover all that. Like a lot of that's in the very beginning of it too. In there. Are we getting hurt on that? No, but I carry a general insurance policy that covers everything. So all this stuff is covered. So good questions. Yay, Robert. I am so glad this is going to be on. Can I add Robert on my list here?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good. So so Robert makes 11. Okay. Yay. All right. Okay, I'm almost done. We're going to wrap this up here. So you're welcome, Paul. It was probably not to me. Okay, you guys are having your own side chat. Okay. I'm just going to say you're welcome. Is it necessary to call the seller if you have a call service getting most of your info before you send your offer? The offer is the first thing. That's it. Offer goes out. Nothing goes out until the offer goes out in the mail. They call you. Think about this. This is getting offers in the hands of everybody who owns properties that you've identified, like I showed earlier, that meet your acquisition criteria. They are staring at a letter from you with an offer price. You already know you want to buy it in this area. You think you do. You're going to get, when you get it back and you see my sheet, you're going to decide. But anyway, I had to get back to the screen here. I'm going to get my screen back up here in a second to show that. You're not doing anything until that. They are calling you. They are already warmed up. Does that make sense? They know. Can you see my screen now, Christian? Okay, hold please. Oh, wait. Okay, good. So they're already there. These people are already ready to go. You just need to, close a deal, basically. They're calling you back. If that makes sense. You're not chasing anybody here. That's it. There's no outbound warm them up calls or anything like that. They get your offer, they like it or they don't like it. You guys talk, make a deal, and we'll help you. Hello, Anthony Davis. Have you ever seen county-owned properties? Oh, sure. Well, sometimes they don't want to sell them, especially usually state-owned and federal-owned. They tried to sell and they couldn't, so they took possession. I found some selling for a good price, but I worried about what clouds on Tyler, other running on flies. Does it sound weird for you? We'll help you. We'll help you. Like, usually it's a county took back a property for unpaid taxes kind of thing. And that's who owns it. So, and a lot of them will have over the counter sales that you can even just buy property straight from the county like that. And then there are sometimes every county is different as far as how long do you need to hold it, if you do, before you can resell it, and the whole process that it did to get to them. And then there's ways around that. Taxtitleservice.com services, I think is their thing, but we'll help you with that. All right. Stopping at this, and I'm going to show you my quick last little thing so we can wrap it up here. If you send out 10,000 offers, how many do you expect to purchase? Oh, personally, I have to do the math. 10,000. I could buy 20. I could probably buy more. Depends on how picky you want to be. Let me think. 20. That's 2 per 1,000. That's probably a good number. I could do that. That's a lot. But I love how you're thinking, Donna. That's the way to do it. Okay, last question. To do a deal in the USA, do I need to be physically present there in the USA? Nope. Join Land Academy and get into Discord and say, all right, how many of you are not in the US right now? And watch them raise their hands. They're in Ireland, they're in Canada, they're in other places in Europe, they're in England. Oh my gosh, I have a lot of people we have a healthy group of military guys that are deployed all over the place doing property. Fill in the blank. There's some, I can't keep up with where everybody is. Germany. So, no, you do not need to be here. So I want your mail. I want your return address to be here. I want your phone number to look like it's here. That you do. And we help you with all that too. So this is what I want you to see. This link right here. My team is going to drop this for you in the chat so you can open it up. Oh, Sophie's from Latin America. Thank you very much. Sitting there right now. Awesome. Beautiful. Thank you for joining us. All right, there you go. Dear Christian with my photo. I don't know how that works out, but anyway, this is good. So yeah, but there you go. Check that out, please. I put some love and time and energy into that for you. That's to do your phase 1 due diligence. Those are the 6 things. That's what I do every deal. Should I open it up? You want me to show everybody here? Okay. Let me see. Does it just pop right up if I do this? Bear with me here. Yes. Okay. This is what you're going to see. Yay. This is what I made. Okay. This is what you're going to do. Print out, have on your desk, and always be thinking about the 6 A's. If you want to make sure you're not going to mess up a deal, I want all 6 of these A's. Does it have access? I want legal and physical. Check, check, done. Acreage. Yep. Jill, I was going for 20. This one came back, I was going for 20 to 40 acres or whatever it is. Yep. This is exactly what I was mailing. This is what I want. Check. Attribute. Is there something great about it? Like, wow, this one's got a river on the property, or this pond, or I had no idea it was so close to Austin. Fill in the blank, whatever it is. Those are attributes. Check. Now you got 3 of them. Alive. I added this a couple years ago. Is everyone alive and able to sign? Because if they're not, and there's a probate issue, this is going to mess up your deal, and you need to ask that question right now. When you're talking on the phone, and we'll talk about it more, but the question is, are you John Smith? As I'm looking at on Parcel Fact, it shows John Smith. And where's Sally? Oh, Sally's in the kitchen making cookies. Great. Thank you. They're both okay. So there's 4, got my 4th A. 5, affordability. Now, now you're going to jump in and start looking at comps. Okay. They love the price. Do I love the price? Even though they signed it and sent it back, did I do it right? And do I still love it? Did it, is it way, there could be things that make you change the price. So you're going to check that. So, but you're going to go back and double check, like, do I still want to buy it? Yeah, this is still a great deal. What we agreed on. Awesome. And the last is I was 5. And the last is adjacent. Jack just added that this year. It's really great to look around and see neighboring properties. So you know what's possible. So like I'm buying, it's an info lot. Well, there's a house on this side and a house on this side. Does that pass the adjacent test? Yep. Check. 6. Now I've got all 6 A's, right? Now I know I'm not going to mess up all those things. So that's what that is. Oh, you guys are so good. Time to head to bed. I understand. You're so welcome. Thank you, Christopher. Now delay starting my clock until January 1. It's going to carry over, Donna. So you could buy it on December 31 if you wanted to. That's fine. Go ahead and do that, and then dive in that next day, and that's okay. But okay, that's we had 11 people who got my consulting before I say goodnight. Oh, all right, like Jill's gonna wrap it up. All right. Will you give me a shout out real quick here in the chat if you're trying to check out right now and you want my free consulting before I sign off? Because I want to know if you put a note in here, I'll watch for you for a few minutes. So oh, you guys are so great. Donna says I'm putting it on my calendar. All right, Donna. Okay, got it. All right. Is Sunny on your list? All right. So can we give Chris with a K? All right. What time is it now? Can we give a half hour? All right.
So by 9 time.
Yeah. So it's 8:30 Pacific. All right, 8:30 p.m. Pacific time. We don't need that long. How about 10 minutes? Top of the hour. You guys can do top of the hour. All right. Chris, you're on my radar. Charles, I will see you. I know I've already seen you a lot around. This is awesome. I'll see you more. Patricia, you are so awesome and you are welcome. Sunny's coming. I thank you, Amal, for staying late in Canada. I appreciate that. We have a healthy Canadian group, and they've been talking about taxes a lot right now because it's the end of the year. So I have a good research, and they have accountants here on this side of the border. So I've got a great group of people that can help you navigate that stuff. So, all right. So we have 13. Chris is coming. Dave is coming. And I think we're good. All right. Anybody else, real quick, you got till the top of the hour, and I'll do some more consult. I'm going to be busy. Yeah. And I will get some consulting calls. So that was awesome. Thank you very much. So All right. It is recorded and the replay will be out. I just returned from work. Yeah. Tom's like, I just went back and worked for an hour and a half and you're still here. Yes. No, that's so good. Yeah. Yeah. My mom lives in Canada. We can't, this is for buying property in the US. I can't get data in Canada like I can here. So, it's really US stuff, but all right. 6 more minutes and I will do my consulting thing, but don't worry, the special's not going away. We have till the end of the month to get that pricing till the 31st to do that. So now you know Land Academy. This is how we roll. This is what I'm going to do for you all the time, every Thursday. We're going to have chats like this. This has been awesome. And I really appreciate you all staying with me. So thank you very much. And I'm Jill DeWitt, and you are not alone. And I mean this, you are not alone. I'm going to cry myself. That we have such a good group. I get cry when I say this. You are not alone in your real estate ambitions. So have a great evening, everyone, and hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.